This is the Red Alert. Civil defense information will be broadcast at 6:40.
West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Y2K, how can we prepare?
Stop a few of their machines and radios. Throw them into darkness for a few hours.
We are fighting for our lives. My family must survive.
Oh, for 5 years. 1,000 gallons of gas, air filtration, water filtration.
Coming at you from the frozen tundra that is East Central Alberta, Canada, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, and Odyssey. Welcome back to the workshop where we create community, find freedom, promote preparedness, and share success. I am Toolman Tim. Today is October 27th, 2023. This is episode 389 of Workshop Radio. This is the first of 3 Halloween-themed episodes, so if you are squeamish or easily afraid, turn the radio off right now. Walk away. Don't come back until November 1st when it's safe to put up your Santa decorations. But if you're here for the long haul and you want to hear all about what scares the shit out of us, then hang around in a few minutes. So let's get the announcements out of the way real quick. Number 1, Two Chicks Homestead /Homestead Ham Radio. It should be over on Twitter. Chris Dixon says it's not Twitter anymore. I do have it showing as live over on Twitter, so we'll leave it at that, and I'll get the announcements out of the way. If it frigs up, we'll go from there. Two Chicks Homestead Ham Radio. Nate and Aaron, they're awesome. They are doing great things. They were good enough and gracious enough to have the workshop get together in Illinois for us this year. And Nate is just kicking ass and taking names with his Homestead Radio. So if you're Homestead Ham Radio, if you're looking to get set up with ham radio gear and you're looking to kind of have a turnkey operation with a dude that you can pick his brain a little bit, and he'll be the first one to say that he doesn't know everything, but he knows how to find out everything. So give him some support. And from there, it took us a while to come up with the proper name for our Halloween-themed, supernatural, whatever you want to call it, episode. But I'm pretty happy with what came out of the hive mind that is the Telegram group. So between Amy and Letty Lou, we came up with Ghoulman Tim's Workshop of Horrors. And I thought that was pretty damn good, actually. We tried for a while. I wanted it to emulate the old Art Bell Ghost to Ghost episodes he would do, but I didn't want to copy it. So Sunday evening, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, I'm going to have a lot of supernatural, unexplained stories that I'm going to share with you that I've pulled from different places all over the internet. But more than that, I want to get stuff from you. So this is where you come in. If you're not going to be around to come on live, send me some stories. So you can type them up. You can send me audio. Tracy's really excited because I know she has some stories. I know Backwoods Butcher has some stories, and I'd love to hear them. Everything's fair game as long as it's a true story to the best of your knowledge. Let's leave it at that. So it's going to be fun. It can be, what are we looking at? Oh my goodness. We can have Mothman. We can have the Yeti. We can have Bigfoot. We can have aliens. We can have unexplained. We can have ghosts. All of the above or none of the above at all. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I want to make it a yearly tradition in the workshop because, hey, it's fun to celebrate the holidays. And with that, we're going to do the King of the Hill holiday special again this year. But this year we're doing voices. And I believe we're still looking for a Hank and a grumpy computer salesman. So if anybody's interested in doing one of those 2 parts, I'd love to get you signed up, and there's really not much work to it. All right, with that, Rob and Tracey. Last time I saw you, you were boyfriend and girlfriend. Are you allowed to call us that when we're adults? And then I guess Rob kind of, let the secret out of the bag early that things were going to happen. And then you guys were gracious enough to invite us to your special day, which we couldn't make it to, but we do appreciate it. So how is married life treating you? Because you've been married for what, 48 hours now? Oh, sorry. I got you. Hang on. There you go. Let's try that all again. How's married life treating you guys?
It's great.
That's the right answer, Rob. You're doing well. How'd the wedding go?
It was good. It was pretty much perfect, which never happens. So I was a little shocked, but I even got like thunder and lightning and rain for about 5 seconds. It was cake.
But
was
not
so
in
good.
The times when you didn't want the rain.
Yeah, it was like it rained like right after everybody was done, and then only rained for like 2 minutes, and then it was done, and then it was great.
So Alanis Morissette wouldn't have been upset with rain on her wedding day then?
No, apparently it's good luck. I was told by a couple people, so yeah.
Excellent. Well, you guys are a match made in, can we say hell for Halloween? Because I think you'd appreciate that more than a match made in heaven anyway, wouldn't you? Yeah, see, Rob's like, yeah, I like that. Rob and I were talking earlier. We've been, I think the genesis for this show came out of Thrivalist Fair, I believe, when we first started talking about it, because we all mentioned that we were kind of digging horror films, and I thought, hey, this would be one hell of a time to have you guys to come on. And Rob's like, yeah, we'll put together a couple of notes, and he sends me 75 pages of single-spaced notes, and I'm like, dude, I said, you realize this is going to be a show, and no, but it's great because you guys are more prepared than anybody I think I've ever had on the show. So with that, I definitely led you off into some bad territory there, didn't I?
High expectations now.
That's all right. So we'll work our way through. Do you have the notes with you, or do you want me to work through them with me?
On my end as well.
Cool. Just so we kind of stay on the same page. But so anybody out there, you can feel free to ask questions. You can throw in the comments as we go along if you agree or disagree with Rob and Tracey. There's some questions.
Or Tim. Because his movie.
Well, guys, it was nice. Everybody say goodnight to Becky. It was nice to have her for a little while.
I am going to put in here, I did get a text message the other day from U.S.A.
Yes, yeah.
And he said, just so you know, Tim is funny, even if he can't pick good movies.
Oh, my.
And that's exactly what he said. Just so you know.
I thought I liked U.S.A, but we'll go with it. I think he was good. He told me he was going to tell you that too, but not the movie part, of course. So see, this is what I get, guys. I come home, I'm gone for 5 weeks. You think my wife would be excited to see me, and all she wants to do is bust my balls more, right?
So that just means you get double time.
Yeah, it's true.
To make up for lost time.
Yeah,
exactly. You got 5 weeks of busting to do.
Yeah, well, you've had what, 17 years at this point, or what's it been? I don't know. Yeah, too many. I mean, not enough. That's what I meant. So, you guys wanted to talk about gore level because I'd say we've been pretty big gore fans over the years, haven't we?
Oh yeah, and I've seen some pretty gory ones that like it's one of those gore movies that it like imprints on your brain and you can never get some of those out of there, right? And you're just like, yeah.
Do you know, I'm going to throw it out here, guys. I'm going to ask you about your gore level, but there's actually some movies that have kind of rocked me a little more to the core over the years for their violence that wouldn't be considered horror movies that maybe I should get those out of the way right now. But you guys ever seen The Grey with Liam Neeson?
Yes, that was one that popped up. I almost put it on there.
Did you? Okay.
The wolves.
Yeah. Do you remember a scene? I don't know why certain ones stick with you. Do you remember the scene where the young guy dies in the plane seat and Liam Neeson is there talking to the dude as he's like struggling to breathe and talking about his mother and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Tracy's like, nope, get the hell out.
I'm good. That's too real for me.
I would classify that as one of my categories that we'll get to later on. It's probably like a psychological horror.
You know what? Then I'll shut up and let's move on. So no.
Dude, so what happens when you let a Virgo and a Libra take things over?
So what's your gore level? What is that's your first question on a scale of 1 to 5. So apparently you've got 1 being The Others or Lights Out. You like The Others? Remember that was a good one. Yeah. To 5 be Evil Dead Rise. Loved it. So were you both horror fans before you got together?
Tracy definitely more so than I, and then she kind of allowed me to
I grew up in this life.
with it.
Yeah.
That's a bit like us, isn't it?
Well, I started watching horror movies when I was like 7, right? Like Child's Play, Freddy, Jason, all those when I was like 7, 8, 9, 10.
And then when we got together, you're like, so here's the deal. You either watch horror movies or we don't get together. Simple as that.
I was like, have you seen this? Have you seen this? No. Oh, okay. Well, guess what we're doing?
Well, between that and obscure 80s films, I would think we could spend the rest of our married life watching movies I haven't seen.
Oh, yeah. I watch a whole bunch of 80s movies.
So where's your comfort level with gory horror and that kind of stuff, guys?
So me, I don't like super gory. Like I'm like a 3 or a 4. Like I want to enjoy the movie and not try and like be extremely grossed out. So I'm a little more mild than I think Tracy is.
my first I watched. My mom didn't make me. My mom was watching The Shining when I was like 5, and I was and then she just casually left the room to see what would happen. So that was my first experience with horror movies. So it's been a while, so I'm a little desensitized. So as long as it doesn't involve eyeballs or fingernails, I'm fine. For some reason, those two things, no go. No.
Oh yeah, there is a channel that I watch quite a bit. What's his So Bad It's Good, the movies, and they watch a lot of stuff from the 80s, really cheesy stuff, and they just watch it, make fun of it. But they've been doing a lot of horror stuff, and even on their Patreon, there's some stuff they have to blank out. It's been that bad, and it's like, oh yeah, and there was some eyeball stuff. So I was like, okay, all right, yep.
Or anything where I very vividly where somebody's being dragged and their fingernails will break.
Oh,
yeah. Now see, and that's why I have a problem with the Saw movies.
Yeah.
I seen the first one and I was like, okay, I can take it. But then as they move on and the one where she falls in the pit with all the needles and everything, it's like, oh, okay, that's a little, because I hate, I get tattoos, but I hate needles, right? And then of course, and then the Final Destination movies.
Oh man.
And I even to this day, I still hate traveling behind log trucks, right? Because they're just, and you're like, okay, this is so stupid. But it's just those where it just takes it to the next level. And I know with with the gore and stuff, it's different type of gore that I find bothers me. It all depends whether or not if it's really, really gross or if it's just uncomfortable gross, right? So it's well, for example, have you guys seen a Siberian film? No. That
I've never seen.
That is very, very uncomfortable gross.
On purpose, right?
On purpose.
Yeah.
So if it's something that it's basically one of those movies where you watch and then you're like, okay, why am I actually watching this? And then you have to keep watching it because you need to know what's going to happen. But then as you're watching it, you get more and more and more uncomfortable as the movie goes on. And it's to the point where you're you actually feel gross that you're watching it. So it's
but you kept watching it.
Well, because you have to know what happens, right? Yeah. But it's a very disturbing, gross movie. But I'd say my scale, I'm probably 5.
I mean, I love that you put 5 being Evil Dead Rise, because that is
that's an awesome movie.
Probably one of my favorites in the horror genre in the last couple of years. It was, we watched that when we got snowstormed in Minot in April. We're like, hey, let's go to the theaters. That was playing, and it was such a riot. That movie was so much fun.
The wood chipper, that was incredible.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I just want to get up and cheer. I'm like, yeah.
It's
sorry,
Rob.
Go
Evil Dead, the new Evil Dead movies are so good. They're so good.
Oh yeah. Oh, and the remake Evil Dead from 7-8 years ago. That one, you remember? There was
where she slices her tongue in half.
Knife.
Oh my god! Yep.
But even in the new one, when she pulls her scalp off, it's because it's because could that really happen? And then you feel you're that would hurt so bad, right?
I should have said tonight's episode is rated NC-17, folks, just in case you have.
Wow, anyone can't take that.
Well, if you know the movie.
When you were talking about feeling gross about horror movies, I feel the same way about Human Centipede, yet I've seen all 3 of them. So
that's what a Siberian film is in the same type of category.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
I find Human Centipede is about here, where a Siberian film is here.
Oh.
So if you're I don't want to encourage anybody to watch it, but it was banned in a lot of countries because it's very, very inappropriate and it's very, very gross. So, but it'll make you very, very uncomfortable. Yeah, but Human Centipede is.
Oh my god!
The second one was so gross.
All I can tell you is, if you haven't seen it, don't watch it.
The third one, I laughed the entire time through the third one.
I don't think I watched. I only watched the first one.
He's a prison warden.
Right. Oh.
I
I laughed the whole time because he was such a moron, right? And this guy's like, it's like the German doctor from the first one, but he's wearing like cowboy hats and cowboy boots.
Oh,
and
yes.
He's talking with like an accent, but he's German. Oh, it's so stupid.
It's another one where you're like, why am I still watching it play?
Stop, right?
Can't stop watching. It's like a Picasso. You got to keep looking, right?
And like I said, if you haven't seen Human Centipede, just the name says it all.
Mhm.
Really, truly, that's it. It's it doesn't disappoint on its
well,
premise.
the first one was original. Like it was still
Yeah, no, it
gross,
was.
but at least it was original. And the second one, I don't even know how they came up with that one because the second one was based on a guy who was a fan of the doctor from the first one, and that one was disgusting.
It was the worst one.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah. So you guys got 3 levels of horror. You got gross out. So it says gross out, horror, or terror. Is that right?
That's just something that's according to Stephen King.
Okay.
There's some bigger Stephen King fans here that probably know a little more about that, but I think you've mentioned before, like the final level terror is like when you don't even show the monster, the build up and everything is just so huge that your mind creates this absolute terror for you.
To only be let down half the time.
Yes.
Right? You're always let down.
I think A Quiet Place did. Okay.
A Quiet Place was good.
That was a good one. Yeah.
And did you have signs on your list anywhere tonight?
I don't think we put signs.
But we didn't mention it. We were talking about it.
Okay, because that is probably the quintessential. Don't show the monster and scare the living daylights out of you until the end. Now, I will say the final scene was a little bit cheesy because the effects were kind of wonky, but the first 98% of the film is a masterclass in how, like not to show. Because it was Alfred Hitchcock. He always used to say as well that the monster you don't see is scarier than the monster you do. And I think that goes along with Stephen King, because I'm pretty sure that dude would know a little bit about horror, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Do we have, I just want to make sure I don't want to jump over. Yeah. So how about your favorite Stephen King film then? Since I don't see anything on do we have a list for Stephen King? I don't see it.
No, this is kind of our jumping off point for Stephen King. We'll get him out of the way first and foremost.
So I'm a little biased though, because Stephen King is my favorite author. So when it comes to like movies, I don't generally try to watch anything that's like based on his books because I'm afraid they're going to be ruined. Do you have a favorite one?
I just watched Pet Sematary for the first time a couple weeks ago.
The original?
Yeah.
That's one of the few books that was really well adapted because it's a little shorter. And what I love about, well, I shouldn't say love, but the thing that makes Pet Sematary so effective is the fact that you can read it as a teenager and it's scary. And then you can read it as an adult, as a parent, and it's even scarier after that. And you're like, oh my God. Yeah, it is that is one of the more dreadful books, isn't it, babe?
Well, see, I never read the book. I found the book. Well, see, I love Stephen King, but I find he's a very hard read for me. So, and I don't know, because I'm more of a light reader, but I was going to try some of his books on audio, but I find his books are a very hard read for me. And I think it's because they're really long-winded, and I find that they kind of jump around a lot too much for me. So I maybe it's just my attention. I can't, but I think mine's a toss-up between it and Pet Sematary.
Mm.
And that's the original Pet Sematary, not the remake bullshit that they just did. Because that was junk. So
I'd say Stephen King is the opposite of Kevin off The Office. Remember how Kevin used to say, why use many words when few do? He tried to limit it.
Why you love
it? And I adore Stephen King. I do, but I just find his books are such a hard read for me.
So my favorite, and I don't think you'll ever top it, is The Stand. The uncut edition of The Stand.
The original?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But also, so I'm book-wise, and also I am hugely partial to the 4-part miniseries of The Stand that played on ABC in 1994.
With Molly Ringwald.
Gary Sinise,
Rob
Lowe. You guys seen that one?
I haven't.
No, that one I haven't, but that is my favorite book.
You'll have to send him a download.
I think I have. I probably have a copy of it somewhere.
Yeah.
It's worthwhile. I mean, you have to keep in mind that it's 30 years old and it was put on broadcast TV.
But it's really good. But the new one,
Could have been good.
Alexander Skarsgård did really good.
Yeah.
He was good as I can't remember his name. Flag.
Randall Flagg. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really, really good. But the rest of the cast could have used some tweaking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not an Amber Heard fan. She could just go crawl in a ditch somewhere. But
just can't act.
But Alexander Skarsgård really did Flag well.
Yeah. He did.
But it was disappointing. I was so excited to see it and just totally let right down.
The new Mr. Harrigan's Phone on Netflix, that's based on a Stephen King short story. And
good.
Oh yeah, really good. Like I love the story. It's one of the few stories, like people always ask what would be a good Stephen King story to introduce like preteens to. And there's usually Eyes of the Dragon, The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, and then this short story, the Mr. Harrigan's Phone. It's really good. And I won't give much of it away because it's Donald Sutherland plays the patriarch, old, very, very old, who retires to Maine, and the next door neighbor, the son, he pays him to read to him, and then of course terror ensues like every Stephen King
Mr.
film.
Mercedes is pretty good.
Yeah, Mr. Mercedes. I love the book series.
I can't remember who's the actor in that. Is it Gleason?
Oh yeah. The Scottish guy. Do you know who? And my daughter just said Black Phone was really good.
Yeah,
and it was. It wasn't Stephen King, but it was his son who wrote it.
Yeah.
So.
Did you guys watch Black Phone?
Not yet. I was just saying that's one I want to put on the list. I do want to watch it.
It's one of those ones where you're like watching it and then something really creepy and you're like, geez, what a friggin' creep. You know, when he's sitting on the stairs. Like, and have you guys seen that movie Creep?
Oh man, that's a good one too.
I think so.
Yeah,
Creep and then Creep 2.
Yeah.
They're low budget. It's a dude.
You're watching it and you're like, what is wrong with this guy? Right? It's like
Ethan Hawke was incredible in Black Phone.
Yeah, no, he was, and he's the creep in it. Yeah. Yeah.
So Tracy, you would say The Stand?
Of my favorite Stephen King?
Yeah.
Yes. I have a hard copy. I have multiple versions of the audiobook. Like I have listened to it many, many times. I love that. I love that book. I do like all of the It movies though. Like even the old one, both of the new ones, those ones, yes, I do like all of them. They were very well done.
The Stand was put together in a comic book form too, if you're ever interested in finding it.
Was it?
Yes, it was. It just made her night. See, this is where we're gonna be. We're all gonna geek out over all this stuff. So, and Rob, you said Pet Sematary? Yeah, that one is a good one. And for you, it was
It and Pet Sematary.
Yeah, okay. That works.
Yeah.
Slashers. I love this. So you guys have got Freddie, Michael, Pooh, Blood and Honey, which we haven't seen yet.
No.
Prom Night, which I've seen once.
Now, is that the original Prom Night or the new Prom Night?
I don't think I've seen the original one.
So not Jamie Lee Curtis Prom Night? Or...
No, but I mean, they're all the same.
That one's a little boring, actually. I know you like it, but
I like it. Yeah. And Black Christmas, is that new one or old one?
Both. I love them both.
Now, I found the original creeped me out way more than the new one.
Hold on. Yeah. We need to talk about which new one we're talking about, because the latest one that just came out a year ago was pure and utter horseshit. Like, I mean, it was worse than that.
Yeah. I didn't know there was a new one.
I know, don't bother. But the remake from 8-10 years ago I really liked it.
It was okay, but it wasn't the original.
No. And for the Canadians who are out there, the original Black Christmas is a Canadian film, which is kind of cool because there's not a lot of good horror that comes out of Canada. Not a lot of good films in general, really. But all right, so Freddie or Michael, which one is it?
Miss Jason.
I'm sorry, Freddie, Jason, or Michael? Which one?
Out of those three,
yes, Freddie.
Mine's Freddie.
Yeah,
I like the whole. Thing.
I'm going to go with Jason. I am a Friday the 13th dude. I love him. I think he's hilarious. I like just the way I don't know. He just always walks forward and choppy. I love the formula of 13 films. I just love them.
Well, but Jason and Michael, they're so stupid. Like I appreciate them, I do, but at least Freddie's entertaining.
So right? I'm going to put it out there. I don't even think Halloween should be in the same category as Freddy and Jason. I like it, and I'm sure there's going to be people that are going to be like, I'm going to stab you for saying this, Tim. But I just find them boring as hell. They're okay, you know, but yeah, I mean.
Well, the original Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis, it was good. But like I said, though, like, because Jason and Michael, they never talk. Like, I know Jason does this whole kill, right? But at least with Freddy, before he always has like those one-liners, right? Like, you know, in Freddy 4 when he goes, "Welcome to prime time, bitch," and he puts her through a TV. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, but he always has like those character lines, and it's like at least you're getting a little bit of comedic relief out of it, right? And it's like
I will say that the Freddy Krueger movies are objectively better than Friday the 13th.
They're so funny.
They are, but I have a soft spot for Jason and his original kills, and I love when I think when a film finds its formula and doesn't stop, it just keeps doing it over. I love it. The only thing I wish is that Jason Takes Manhattan was better.
Oh, that was awful.
You guys ever seen that one?
No. I can't get past a title like that.
Well, it's okay.
It's so corny.
There's about 6 minutes in that film that are pure gold. When he goes to 1980s New York City. So the entire movie is Jason Takes Manhattan. But what it really is Jason rides on some random boat on a river from Jersey to New York for 93 minutes and spends the final 4 minutes in New York City.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's true. Yeah.
And on the boat doesn't sound as catchy.
It's horrible. It's such an awful film. But what makes up for it is Jason walking through Times Square, punching a dude's head off, like all the cool stuff.
Yeah, he like boxes him, and he punches him hard enough the head goes flying.
You want to?
You can't punch somebody's head off. Come on.
The guy was tired. I mean, he punched himself out, right? So, but it was but it was a horrible movie. But the 10 minutes, well, and then some of New York City was actually filmed in Vancouver, so that looks horrible too. But yeah.
Well, and Freddy versus Jason was good.
Yes, like that.
Like and again, and Freddie made that movie. Like, I love Robert Englund. He's awesome. Like, he's so like everything he says, everything, like just everything how he portrays his lines, and the new Freddie with Warship from
from
that was
Watchmen.
And we've had this argument before. Like, I know when you watch the original and the premise of Freddie is that, okay, yes, he did kill children.
He murdered them.
But he was not a child molester, okay? And the new one make him out to be some sort of child molester creep. And you know, like, he wasn't.
I understand.
He wasn't a child molester, and they made this whole story about it. And it's like, that's not what Freddy was, right? Like, he killed children, but he wasn't that type. And why did they have to go there? You know what I mean? Like.
So what you're saying is you're pro child murder? Is that what you're saying?
No,
that's what
I own a daycare.
I know.
No, but he was.
I understand.
But you know how they made him out to be a child molester so that they could build this story, and it's like it just ruined the whole atmosphere about it. You know, because like you want to be able to enjoy Freddy's reactions and how he talks and everything like that, and then I find that you're looking different at Robert Englund as Freddy, because he wasn't like that, right?
It's easy to root for a murderer, in a movie, but it's a lot. You're not going to root for the other thing. You know what I'm saying? So
you're not going to root for a pedophile.
Very true,
right? So it's like I didn't like how they tried to build that story up like that. I didn't. It. I don't know. It did them wrong. Anyway, I just like.
So I see you guys have 31 on here, which is probably a film a lot of people 31. Don't remember.
Have we seen that one?
That is the Rob Zombie film that takes place at an amusement park or whatever.
Yes. Okay.
And
as far as we know, that's one of the only ones where Sherry Moon Zombie actually plays the victim instead of like the psycho.
Really?
And I personally think she's a terrible actress. So like I was
Thank
really
you.
Like, root for her this time. Woo!
But she doesn't get it.
No, I know she lived, of course, but still.
Of course she does.
She's not trying to be like the crazy girl. Oh God.
She's a horrible actress. And
so bad.
But I really do I have a very soft spot for Rob Zombie films. And I noticed you guys had a couple at least on this list. So let's talk about the Rob Zombie Halloween film. because I'm going to say it's my favorite Halloween film. The first one. His second one was not very good, but I really, really liked his dark and gritty, and I guess we'll call it hillbilly version of Halloween.
I think it would have been good if she wasn't in it.
Well, sure.
No, I don't like her at all. Like everything she portrays is like, you're okay. Well, for starters, you're probably fit. Like, what is she? Close to 50.
Oh, I bet you she
acts like she's 20, but can't act to save her life. And it's like, okay, so you're acting younger, but you can't act even in the role. And then all of a sudden, and she never dies in any of the movies. It's like, just kill her off. Like I can't stand her. I can't.
Have either of you guys watched his Munsters film by chance?
God, no.
No,
Me
I've
either.
got no interest either.
No, I don't know what's happened to the poor guy. I don't know if it's kind of what happens with a lot of directors, but they have early success and then they start kind of believing their own bullshit, and people don't like. I don't know. It happened. Do you remember?
Well, M. Night Shyamalan is just like
sure.
perfect.
He came back around for a few of these films, and
I know like one.
Yeah. Oh no, I would say more than that.
Which one?
So Glass was really good, or no, not Glass.
Glass
the one,
wasn't good.
The one before Glass.
Split
was really, really good.
Okay.
The recent one I really liked with Dave Bautista. The End of the World Cabin.
Okay, I'll give you that one. But...
And there was one, and then there was The Visit. That was really good too.
It was the old was not good.
No, the old was horrible, and Glass was horrible as well.
Glass was horrible, yeah.
But have you seen The Visit?
I just didn't realize that was his movie, but yeah, I've seen that one.
Oh, I like that one. That
creepy when she's under the deck. I'm gonna get you.
Oh, I love that.
Creepy old lady.
It's just for some reason that one in particular just like gives me goosebumps, and I'm like, oh god, okay. Oh.
Yeah, you're watching, you're like, how can this lady move that quick?
But it had, it played in, I mean, it's old enough, I don't want to completely spoil the film, but it played in with some mental or some cognitive issues on top of some criminal issues, which was kind of cool. I like that, it had a good ending. It was,
but he still hasn't redeemed himself fully. I don't think.
Oh no, I don't think he'll ever make. So I'm just going to put it out there. Signs is his best film. Anybody else want to? Okay, yeah,
I agree.
I think it's the one that's aged the best too, and I think it's the one that
has, except for the graphics.
Well, sure, but it still tells a good story.
Yeah,
because here's the thing. If you've seen The Sixth Sense, or if you lived through the early 2000s, you know what happened in The Sixth Sense. And once you've seen it, it's a one-trick pony, right? But that's what I like about watching. And I like Unbreakable as well. You guys ever seen that? Yeah, it's good. I enjoyed it. But
I find with Signs, though, a lot of it was the actors. Like Joaquin Phoenix, he's incredible. Yeah. Right? Like everything he does, he's incredible. Mm-hmm. And whether you like it or like him or hate him, I love Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't seen any movie that he's in that I have not liked.
What about the Mark Wahlberg, The Happening?
I have a soft spot for The Happening.
What do you got? Go ahead, Tracy. You got some opinions here.
So I wanted to like that movie so bad. The premise is so good, and it could have been so good. That guy sucks.
It's in the flowers.
So bad. It's just he is not believable as a person.
I have and that's the I don't per se like it, but I have a soft spot for it.
Yes,
and I think it's because I like Mark Wahlberg. I think he's a good actor, but
it's not in that movie for some reason.
Yeah, he overplays it, and I think they were. This is going to be my guess. I think M. Night Shyamalan was going for something like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You ever seen the original? Well, not the original, but the 70s one with Donald Sutherland. Yeah. And he does the, that weird look with his face and everything.
That's because he was invaded.
Yeah, but it was this over-the-top kind of like surreal thing. And I think that's what Mark Wahlberg was going for. Yeah. Was this, it's in the flowers, and he just, I don't know. It was similar to... Bird Box played out a lot like that too. Remember the same kind of premise?
No, I didn't mind Bird Box.
No,
although I am getting kind of sick of Sandra Bullock. But I didn't mind the movie.
I'm not
better. We watched the second Bird Box.
I watched about 10 minutes of it and I had to turn that shit off.
So did it get any better? Because we didn't finish it. It was subtitled, right?
I can't handle subtitles.
Was the one?
I liked the first one better, but he liked the second one better.
Again, the Sandra Bullock was a major turn.
My mom loves Sandra Bullock, and so I love.
I don't know. She's just. I don't know. I really like her in the one with Melissa McCarthy. Is probably one of my favorite comedies. The Heat. She's like looking for the captain.
No, that was Melissa McCarthy.
I know, but they were good in
her,
that. But yeah, I don't know. Sandra Bullock. She is what she is, and yeah.
Yeah, but I watched about 10 minutes of that second one, and I'm just like, no, I can't do that. I can't be invested in a horror movie while I'm reading it. Because I find it takes away from the actual movie, right?
I've never been able to get her to watch subtitled films, and that's
especially at nighttime too, because I'm done.
And that's why we like the French movie so much. The one that
the dubbed High Tension,
because we watched it originally and it was dubbed. Yes. So I don't know if you caught the thumbnail for tonight, but the thumbnail, the background is a still from High Tension. So
it is.
So
I love High Tension
about that movie for some reason, and it's so good.
It is.
It is a forgotten film that just got overlooked in the early 2000s. That was. We'll save that one for a little later. How about that? Because it's a good.
You got The Strangers. I love The Strangers.
So you guys got scary thing horror, scary people. I like that. So you got scary people. You got scary monsters. What else we got? Yeah. So Strangers. Is that one of your favorites? You got it on the list.
So funny thing is, we hadn't seen that movie until we went to.
We've seen it before, but we rewatched it.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it in a while, and so we rewatched it, and I completely forgot that it was about a couple who gets murdered at a beach house after a wedding, and we watched it at a beach house after our wedding, and so like I'm watching it, and then we finish it, and I'm like. Hey.
So you guys are looking kind of ghostly, so maybe you got murdered. I mean that's possible. So
for some reason, like those movies, like especially, and the whole movie is fine for me, but it's the end when they're face to face and they like know it's coming. That stresses me out more than anything else in a movie. And so at the end of it, I was like, all right, this is kind of getting to me now. Okay.
I grew up on a lot of 90s indie films, and I really like small films, like claustrophobic style films, where everything, like the original Night of the Living Dead, where everything takes place in one house. And that's what I like about Strangers. It's like, you're stuck in here. What do you do? How do you deal with it? It feels almost like you're trapped, right?
Yeah, and that is, and like they're like looking at each other as they're stabbing, like that whole stabby.
Yeah, I can't do that. My favorite part is when he shoots his friend in the face. I'm not gonna
oh shit, I shot.
I forgot about this film because it is good. You know?
No, it is, and actually, and I'm not a huge Liv Tyler fan, but I think that's one of the movies I can handle her in when she's not doing her baby voice.
I was a big fan of Liv Tyler in the 90s, but I was a 14-year-old boy, so that's a different story. But
every movie she acts in,
I know she's not a very good actress.
No, like she talks normal when you watch her in interviews, but when she acts, she turns on this voice and you're just like, what are you doing? Like, why do you try to sound like you're 8 years old, right? And it's like, and I can't handle and it's just, and she only does it when she's acting. So I don't know.
We got a question from Digger in the audience there. Anybody seen Phantasm from 1979? I probably have. A look of everybody. I don't know if I have. I got to look it up here, guys.
Sometimes I'm better with just looking at the mood, like the title.
Yeah. So no, I haven't seen it. It is.
Bring it up.
Yeah. Hang on. Let's see. We can share the screen. I think share screen.
Oh no, guess not.
Here, hang on. Let's. Everybody who's seen it here.
Look like when he's old, guys. Oh.
I do love 70s horror. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, no, I have not. Bill Thornby. While having sex in a cemetery, Tommy is stabbed by a woman who is actually the tall man, the Morningside mortician in another form. Interesting. No, I have not, but we'll have to watch it. I'm always looking for good.
Yeah, I love 70s horrors there.
Oh yeah.
Like the Omen and all that.
And Exorcist. You know what we never even got on this list tonight is like apocalyptic films for the most part, and they're their own form of horror. And some of the stuff out of the 70s and early 80s is incredibly creepy.
What's the name of that one?
Threads.
Oh
my god, that is horror through and through, but it takes place. Threads is the American one, right? Takes place in a small Kansas City town after a full-on nuclear.
No, it's over in England.
Oh, Threads. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the day The Day the World Stood Still, I think is the
Yeah.
American. There's two that come out the same
Yeah,
time.
Threads. It's like a nuclear after a nuclear attack,
Yeah.
like during a nuclear attack and then after. And it's quite.
It's shot like a BBC documentary.
Yeah,
and
it's really dark.
Yeah, it's the immediate up to, through, and then for like 2 years afterwards of people just dying, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
and
then like giving birth to like radioactive
little
babies
mutants and
stuff.
everything.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like, okay.
it's a crazy movie. It's crazy.
What about when you said, oh shoot, I lost it. There was a few other end of the world movies there, but we'll come back to them. How about you got Insidious, Sinister,
No, Scary Kids.
Oh, Scary Kids. Sorry, that's the title. Insidious, Sinister, and The Boy. Tracy's laughing. So do you have a soft spot for them too?
I love scary children. Freak me out. Probably like if it goes in like hierarchy. I love demon movies and then creepy freaking children and then the rest of them.
It probably goes back to your first experience with The Shining.
Oh man, yeah, probably because I was a creepy child.
That is.
Oh, there were three.
Yeah,
you had the
creepy
twins,
children
and then you
that
had the
would be.
boy.
Do you ever hear that Stephen King doesn't like the Shining film?
Really?
He hates it. He hated it so much that he wrote a TV. What do they call that? A teleplay for TV, and they made it into another movie because he hated it so much.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to find that now.
Yeah, but apparently it sucks donkey balls. Like yeah. But I mean, Stanley Kubrick was a genius, and Stephen King just didn't like the liberties that Kubrick took with the story. But I think he interpreted the spirit of the film in the book, But
Yeah, if you are looking for an audiobook, that's a good audiobook. I have that one on Audible.
you'd probably, Shining is good. The book is better than the movie.
Oh,
and not going to spoil it, even though it's 40 some years old, but completely different ending too, which is kind of cool. So, and I think that's what pissed him off the most was the change in the ending. But the boy, that's the one with Maggie off of.
That's the first one. There's a second one too.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the second one.
Whenever go ahead.
On there, and I'm like, well, I mean, it's a child doll, like it's the same kind of thing, kind of.
It always reminds me of the Treehouse of Horrors Simpsons episode where Bart's living in the walls and eating fish heads. Do you remember?
Oh my god, I used to love those. Are the only episodes of The Simpsons that I could watch over and over and over and over.
Oh yeah, We were grade 9 math. Mr. Daly, loved him, unbelievable. Still alive, but he would bring in Simpsons episodes, and they did a Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors episode where. Do you remember the one where it went like 3D and Homer eventually ended up in the real world?
Yes.
Yeah. So it had all these math things in there, and he's like, "Hey guys, we're gonna watch The Simpsons." I'm like, "This is awesome."
Now I say,
go ahead, baby.
Well, so my Scary Kid ones.
I see dead people.
Definitely Children of the Corn.
Oh, the original.
The original Children of the Corn. Those are some creepy ass kids. Like Malachi and stuff. Those kids are creepy.
Because you know what makes them extra creepy is you tie religion into it too.
Oh, yes.
Man.
And have you guys ever seen the one called The Children?
What is that one, baby?
That one, I seen it a couple months ago. I think it's a British movie. And it's some sort of, I don't think they ever actually explain it. But it's some sort of thing that takes over the children, and then it's kind of like a Children of the Corn effect, but they like kill their parents and stuff, and they're really insane, and they're trying to like
I'm gonna bring it up here. You go, you keep talking.
It's this one. Like it shows them like going tobogganing, and then they run the toboggan into the father's head, and the brains are exposed and stuff. Yeah,
I vaguely remember.
It's crazy. And then I remember when I was a kid, my grandmother had this huge collection of VHS movies. And she had this one. It was called The Unborn.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if you guys have ever seen that one, but where she like gives birth to the baby and it comes out with the teeth and the claws and it starts crawling around.
Really?
That movie creeped me out, but I always had to watch it. And the case on the front, it has like a bassinet. It's got like a claw hanging out the side of it. Yeah.
Oh, I've seen people.
It's like the greatest movie ever.
So let's throw this one up here because Haas says, "Hey, all just got out of watching Exorcist Believer. Holy damn, actually a good movie with a story."
Yeah.
Awesome.
I've read a lot about it. It's a legacy sequel from what I've heard, where they, does Tracy like, I don't like legacy sequels? Is that it?
Oh, no, I was watching the person fall over the tombstone. That's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. But it's one of those things that it either works or it doesn't work. But I've heard mixed reviews for sure. And I like the original Exorcist.
The original, yeah. I don't know. I've heard a lot of bad things about this one.
I wish I'd have been around to watch the original Exorcist in theaters when it was like a cultural phenomenon, because it became a meme in and of itself before I even saw it, so it's like, oh, I know this, I know that, and you're waiting for the scene, because the scenes like the crucifix scene must have like messed with people and with the 70s sensibilities.
Well, and then you watch the one where the cutouts and she's going down the stairs backwards,
right,
and then like throws up everywhere. You're just like, and they didn't even put that in the theater, and I was like, that would have freaked everybody.
Oh yeah,
out, right?
Oh, like the outtakes or the
outtakes,
I get you.
Yeah.
So we got scary monsters. You guys got a bunch here, and I like them. And they're all pretty good. The Descent, Hills Have Eyes, which I love the remake of Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
Bird Box, A Quiet Place, The Thing, and Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it out there. I don't particularly care for The Thing. I wish I did. I want to like it. It should be a film that I like.
With Kurt. Well, it's because Kurt
Russell. The original or the remake?
Well, okay. The one that everybody thinks of is actually the remake, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Like in the 2000s or so.
Oh no, the John Carpenter one from the 70s with Kurt Russell, or early 80s, I think was actually based on another film too, believe it or not.
Oh. Well, there's another one that came out in like the mid 2000s or so, or late 2000s.
Okay.
That's the one that we saw recently, and like the monster in there was just absolutely ridiculous. Like the CGI that they put together on that, we're like, oh,
so bad.
Now the one with Kurt Russell, like Kurt Russell really overacts in that one.
Sure. And
like really overacts. But like, and Kurt Russell, I could take him or leave him, but
I like him in some. I mean, I loved Escape from LA.
Oh,
do you guys remember those movies? The Escape movies? Yeah. I took Snake Plissken or whatever. Yeah. Just trying to see if it says what movie that was originally. Yeah, it should say it here. But the thing is, it's okay. But Hills Have Eyes. That is the one I like is from, when did we watch it? Early 2000s.
Yeah, that's.
Did you know that one? Because it's also based on a 70s film, I believe, and which I think is it a Wes Craven movie, or am I off in left field for that? We'll look it up after. It doesn't matter.
I think my favorite out of that one is The Quiet Place. I love it because it was so original.
Yeah, it was, and it's like that stressful where you're just like, okay, do I have to be quiet too?
Right. And John Krasinski was incredible, right? Him. Like, and he wrote it,
but
like,
she's awesome too. I mean, they're the perfect couple.
I don't know. There is a lot of things going around her right now. She's gonna get canceled. Nope, she's gonna
really.
They are just beating her
because she was making fun of a fat person, right?
Yeah, on national television.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but this is after the fact that she uses her. I lift up women, I support women, I encourage women as her platform. And then they had her on this interview and she said that, and it is everywhere.
All I can say is if people had a hold of anything I said even fucking 5 years ago, we'd be
you can't, but you have to be careful what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you know what? People are taking that and they're running with it, and she's gonna
I don't care. I think she's a great actress. I love The Day After The Edge of Tomorrow. Oh, she's so good in that. You guys, with Tom Cruise, you seen that one?
I have not, but I want to.
It's really good.
I ironically love Tom Cruise, and he's insane, and I love him.
I like Tom Cruise too. Yeah. He's nuts though. He's out of his freaking mind. Right? But he can act.
Speaking of Scientology, you guys ever seen Battlefield Earth?
With John Travolta.
No. Scientology.
Don't ever waste your time on that one.
Do you know the story? It's a science fiction film. John Travolta bankrolled the entire film. It came out in the early 2000s.
And he has like dreadlocks in it.
And I'll see if I can,
it's stupid.
anyway, it's based on L. Ron Hubbard, who wrote all of the Scientology stuff. This was one of his sci-fi books, and it is quite possibly considered the worst film of all time. So don't waste your time. It's so bad. The entire movie's filmed on, do you know like what a Dutch tilt or a Dutch angle is when they have the camera on like through, you know, they'll have it on a little bit of an angle or whatever?
No.
Oh, it feels, the whole movie's filmed that way. And
what the hell does he have on his head?
I don't think he knows.
Like it's like an alien. It looks like they look like dreadlocks, but I don't think they are. Like
it, I don't know.
And bring up a picture of them.
Yeah,
it's like they look like rubber. I don't know what. Like I think he's supposed to be an alien, correct?
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. Forrest Whitaker's
I don't know. And he's got like this great big huge.
It was so bad.
beard
Let's see if I can
and stuff.
find a good picture here. Let's bring it back up.
Yeah, right here.
Okay, hang on. We'll bring. Yeah, it's
there's something
it
wrong
is
with
so bad, and it really is as bad as it comes. All right, Battlefield Earth. Here we go. So for those who haven't seen it, here's a picture of.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's the picture I had in my head, but I definitely have not seen it.
It's like a picture.
So he's got to be an alien because he's got a pointed head and stuff, right? It looks like a cone head.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
He looks like a cross between a Klingon and a hippie, I think, is what he looks like.
It's awful.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, gross. Yeah. Anyway, let's hide that one for now. All right. So yeah.
Horrible. He was an alien.
He was an alien digger. Horrible film. Yeah, it was horrible. It was so bad. I remember we watched it just after I got out of university, my buddy Anthony and I, and we sat down and we tried to get drunk watching it, and we couldn't even enjoy it drunk. So it was that bad. Yeah. But awful. Anyway, so did we do Scary Kids, Insidious?
Yeah, we did that. We're talking about monsters.
Bird Box. We talked about that a little bit. It's good.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
I've watched it a couple times.
It's
it's
rewatchable. And okay, The Hills Have Eyes. We did. Cabin in the Woods. Let's talk about Cabin in the Woods, guys. You got that on your list.
That's his favorite horror movie, I think.
Is it your favorite, Rob?
I thought you really liked that
Your
one.
pick.
I mean, I put it on there, yeah, because I think it's great as a concept.
You put
Now,
it on
is
there.
this the original one with like Ryder Strong or?
Oh wait, I got it mixed. I was thinking Cabin in the Woods was.
Oh no! This is Cabin in the Woods. Never mind.
Yeah, Cabin in the
No,
Woods.
I'm talking about Cabin Fever because I just watched that. The other night.
Yeah.
That comes up later. That comes up.
Cabin in the Woods is actually really good.
Right? It's good.
It is, and it's original.
Yes.
When Thor, what's his name? Chris Hemsworth.
When he drives into the.
I'm gonna jump it with my motorcycle.
Oh, it's so good.
And he hits it so hard, and then you see him blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and you see him cartwheel. I love that. My favorite part is the end where, like, just the irony of him getting eaten by the merman. I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's always I love. There's that meme online where they show the picture of the whiteboard with all the different aliens and different things, and they always said they thought about making other movies, but I mean, it's such a good all by itself movie.
Well, and we talked about it too. We're just like. Because I think at the end, when you're watching it, it's one of those movies where you're like you're actually cheering for them to kill those two people, right? Yep. Because like you don't want them to die, but you're just like, but then you can hear the world collapsing, and you're like, just kill them, you know, right? and then they kill Sigourney Weaver, and you're just like, oh, now the whole world's gonna. And now you're going to die anyway.
You get to live for a couple extra seconds, but the whole world's like, fuck that. We'll burn it all down.
Right. I was watching, and I think that's the one horror movie I've watched where I was like, I was hoping they would have killed the two of them.
There's sometimes when the characters are so annoying, you want them to die.
Well, that one guy, he reminded me of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I wanted him to die in the worst way. He was so annoying. But yeah, he was like a more R-rated version of Shaggy
in
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh
yeah.
What do we got? Vampires, which is kind of cool. Because I don't know. When I think vampires, I usually think of Twilight.
I love Twilight.
I do immediately too.
I have a soft spot for Twilight. I know it's awful. I know it's ridiculous. I just have a soft spot.
I really enjoyed the first one. I won't lie. I remember when we watched them, like, all right, I'll dig it. And then I'm like, oh, hell no for the rest of
the last one ruined it. Like the CGI in it was awful, and that just ruined it all. But no, I have a soft spot.
I really just thought like the first one was like a good standalone film. And I mean, it kind of followed all those teen films and stuff, but the rest were just pure trash that were like, Monday afternoon soap operas is what they were after.
Well, they had to do all So
Yeah, I know. I get it.
I love Daybreakers.
So hold on, I want to read this comment. It's cool. Darkwing Dave over on Twitch says there was a press conference for Cabin, and a reporter asked Joss Whedon, if there was going to be a sequel. Silence. Whedon replies, "You did watch the movie, right?" I like that. That's really good.
Yeah, everybody dies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, everybody dies in the end. Spoiler alert. But yeah.
Yeah. You did watch the movie.
Rachel says Stoner Dude in Cabin in the Woods was funny. So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Rachel, but there was somebody one night when we did the show. Remember we were talking about horror films and we mentioned Cabin in the Woods. Somebody went and watched it a couple of days later out of the workshop community and absolutely loved it. I don't know if it was Rachel or somebody else, but
it's because it's original.
Oh yeah,
like,
it is.
I love those original horror movies.
I mean, it's Joss Whedon who did Buffy too. You know, he did Buffy and he did the original Avengers film, and then he got canceled like so many other people. And you know,
yeah.
All right, there's at least 2 on here we haven't seen. So we got Vampire, which is Daybreakers. You like that?
I love Daybreakers.
That's my favorite vampire movie is Daybreakers.
Really, and that's with
Ethan Hawke, right?
Yeah.
I just don't like that one.
Oh, I love it. I love it at the end when they all start turning human and they're just like killing each other. And you're like, this is so like, what are you doing? They're just like all just eating each other. And you're like, yeah, okay. The whole point of turning human is that you stop doing that, right? And, oh yeah, it had William Dafoe in it too. And it's like, no, I really like that one.
I like 30 Days a Night. I wanted to see if I could bring that. The one where it takes place way up north in, I was Alaska or somewhere.
Is that the one with, what's his face in it? Josh Hartnett?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And Melissa George. Yeah. I mean, I'll forgive that it has Josh Hartnett in it because the dude can't act as much. I don't know how he became an actor.
I only remember it because it was amongst his hype.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like, I remember there was a quote with Tom Hanks one day, and he said, Tom Hanks felt like he was the last of his generation of classically trained actors. And he said after that, everybody coming after him got their start on Colgate commercials. And whenever he said that, I always thought of Josh Hartnett for some reason. I'm like, yeah, he got started on toothpaste commercials. But
yeah, he's not horrible.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. So
I've seen worse.
You guys have Blade, specifically Blade 3. Now, I got to ask, who in the hell prefers Blade 3? Because that's Ryan Reynolds and Jessica motherfucking Biel. Who you could put her inside.
Yes, specifically because I love Triple H and because the phrase "cock juggling thundercunt" is like my favorite thing that has ever been said in a movie. And like, I love that movie, and I love
Ryan Reynolds say that one.
Yes,
yeah. It sounds like something he'd say.
Oh yeah. Poor Jessica Biel, because I mean, you could put her inside of an all-paper bag, wet it down with a hose, and she still couldn't act her way out of it. Like I just, yeah.
I agree. Did you ever hear the story about the first Blade,
where he wouldn't open his eyes?
About how hard he was to work with Wesley Snipes, and when they bring him out in the morgue table, he was pissed off at the director, and he refused to open his eyes for the film. CGI'd his eyes on him because he refused to open them. Well, they were filmed. That's how difficult he was. And I'm surprised they let him in for 2 and 3 because they said he was so difficult to work with.
I heard that in number 3, I could be wrong about this, but Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel couldn't talk to him directly. Mm-hmm. I think they had to either like talk to the director or and then
he thinks his shit don't stink. Oh man, I tell you right now. And he's not like, he doesn't do anything now, right? But he is so hard. Yeah, like. But they said he was so hard to work with that he refused. He just laid there and refused to open his eyes.
So Haas says Blade 1. I agree with you, Haas, on Blade 1. But there is...
I don't think I've seen the second one.
They're remaking Blade now. They've cast a new Blade. It's going to be a Marvel thing. Marvel got the rights back to it because it was one of those Marvel characters that they sold off when they were going through bankruptcy. Blade? I can't remember who it was, but it'll be interesting. And Darkwing Dave says, "What do you think of Vampires with James Woods?" And is that John Carpenter's Vampires? Is that the one because you guys got JC Vampires on here? Is that
the one that I thought of immediately, but I might be wrong.
Let's see. I'm going to bring that up. Let's bring up because I think that is the one. So, because wasn't John Carpenter's?
He said yes.
Okay, John Carpenter's Vampires, wasn't that the one he put out in the 2000? Nope, 98. And that's kind of the one where people are like.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I remember watching it. This was, again, VHS days. So we used to hang around at our friend's house and we'd watch it on their couch with their little floor model TV. And yeah, I remember watching this one back then. But I remember being, so-so.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I don't think I've seen that one.
We'll have to go back and watch it. I mean, it's late 90s. Yeah. There it is. Marshella Ali from the Green Book. Is that?
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I might be wrong about that. If I am, somebody correct me in the comments, but I think that's who he is from. That was with Viggo Mortensen. Remember?
Yeah, is he the piano player?
Yeah, the main actor.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's kind of
old for being. I was going to say he'd be kind of old, wouldn't he?
I hope I'm right about that. I'm pretty sure I am, but yeah.
I don't.
I got it. Yeah, I think
sure.
He's been in a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah, but I think he'd be way too old.
I don't know. Let's take a look and see here if we can see if there's supposed to be a new. They don't have it listed there yet, but yeah. Anyway, they got the Luke Cage as well. We never watched Luke Cage.
No,
I liked Jessica Jones the first
season. That was about it.
I liked that one, and the first season of the blind lawyer, Daredevil. That one was really good. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Marvel movies.
No.
What do we? Oh, Renfield. That's one we haven't seen.
We haven't seen that one yet.
Do it.
It's so good.
Is it?
Well, yeah. I was so excited when I seen it, and then because I went and seen that Batista movie, Shyamalan's movie, and they had that in the beginning, and then I went with you,
right?
And it's like, oh, you got to see this, because then out of nowhere there comes Nicolas Cage. I was like, this is so great. He's
they
such
could not have picked a better person for that role. It was so good.
I'm looking up. Yeah. Was that him in Green Book? I think it was. Yep, Green Book. Yeah, that was him. So I wasn't wrong then. So I
thought he'd be too old.
He's been he's going to be in. So there's a new horror movie, guys, coming out on Netflix. I'm going to bring this up to show you. I read the book recently. It was on a list of modern apocalyptic books to read or listen to. Why can't I get? There we go. And this one, it's got Ethan Hawke, and it has Julia Roberts and Marshella Ali.
I seen a preview for that.
And it's it's different. It's like an even more unexplained version of the one we watched with M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, so this one, this is supposed to be coming out soon, isn't it?
Just November, late November or something.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's okay. I like the book. We'll see if the movie holds up to it or not. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Ghost films. Oh my. There you go. All right. There's actually there's a few in here that you guys mentioned. And I love we have some really good, very similar tastes here. So you know what? I'm going to copy and paste these into the notes so people can see them. But
I love all these ones.
We've got Oculus. We have the Ouija, Ghost Ship, Talk to Me, and It Follows.
It Follows is incredible. Like we watched that for the first time when it first came out, and that is the first ghost movie in years that actually gave me the creeps.
Stuck with me for sure.
Yeah. And I think what part creeped me out the most is when they're leaving the house and that naked guy is standing on the roof and he's just staring at them. And it's like, it just like the way he's looking at him and the way he's just there, it just like creeps the shit out of you. And it's like, what? It gave me goosebumps just watching it. And I'm just like, that is so creepy.
It takes the Jason vibe to a whole nother level, because you remember how they always, in Friday the 13th, it was like, no matter how hard they or Halloween too, no matter how hard they tried to get away, you could run for 10 hours and you turn around and you'd be right around the corner. And that's what It Follows was like, except it was legitimately scary. Rachel, you need to see It Follows. Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's creepy. It creeped me out.
I mean, let's put it this way. You guys put It Follows and Talk to Me. They are both. I fucking loved.
Talk to Me. Yeah,
it was.
That's probably one of my favorite new movies that has come out recently.
Did you guys see it in theater or just at home?
Yes, we did.
Good.
Yeah, we saw it in theater too.
I thought it was the perfect way to do a Gen Z horror without feeling preachy. I guess that's what, because so much, and I get it. I'm like old man yelling at cloud because, but it really, when you watched it, you knew it was Gen Z kids. Yeah, they had their Gen Z lingo, but it just didn't feel preachy like so many of the new
but it
stuff.
was low budget, but it was a good low budget. And it was original. Right?
And I have a soft spot for Aussie films. Again, there was a lot of Australian films I watched in the 90s that I loved, like low budget. And so this was just like, oh yeah, this was great.
And I love Ghost Ship.
Yeah, I know you.
I was so disappointed when I couldn't find it online, and then I ended up paying for it on Prime. Like I know it's like corny when you watch it, but like that whole scene where when the anchor lets go and that rope, when the wire goes through the whole dance floor, you're just like, that is incredible.
Right? Everybody, I'm like, it has the best opening scene of like any movie.
Right? You're watching it like, and when you watch it the first time, you're like, what just happened? And all of a sudden you start seeing these, and then you're like,
oh yeah,
awesome.
But the effects were like, they were like Mia Jovovich. They were the zombie
Resident Evil.
They were like Resident Evil quality. You know, they weren't very good, but
no, but it was that's like an incredible opening scene, and like,
it's a good movie.
And I have a soft spot for Gabriel Byrne. Like I do. I think he's a great actor because he was really, really good in what's that one with?
Oh, I don't. Gabriel Byrne.
Gabriel Byrne. No, I will. Fit.
You will, but
the one where she's possessed.
Oh,
you know,
oh my God.
I know, right?
Everybody's gonna be listening on the audio, and you're like, "Just shut up!"
They're gonna be yelling. I know. It's Patricia Arquette.
Oh, okay.
Is in it.
How old is it?
It's old.
Okay.
Stigmata.
Oh, there you go.
Gabriel. That's the first movie.
Okay.
I loved him in that one, and
That was a good one.
Yeah, and that's a great movie.
I don't know.
You've seen? Oh yeah, it's
okay.
Where she's.
I know. She has stigmata. Right?
Yeah, but it's
all in the title, you know.
And Gabriel Byrne, he plays a priest.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have got witchcraft in here. Now, is Hereditary? Do you have that on your list here at all, or not? Because
I don't know what's on those, but it definitely goes in that vein. Witchcraft and like occult, demon, that stuff that's my wheelhouse in there.
I just want to holler out to the B-Man J. We have a legitimate Hollywood actor in our midst this evening. So it's good to see you, Jay. We're gonna get you on the show before too long. But he's done a lot of true crime TV and stuff. Really, really neat
nice.
dude. Yeah, and he also likes Bumblebee or Honeybees, which I know with a name like B-Man J. So it's good to have you in here, brother. So what do we got?
We gotta go back up.
Yeah. Okay. We got.
Going.
Oh no. Oh yeah. There we are.
Keep going. There you go. Zombies.
Oh, zombies. I missed zombies. We don't even have any.
We drew a big blank on zombies. So
no, I did not. It was too many for me.
Yeah.
Zombies. I have like, it was one of my first tattoos was a zombie. Like my first, that's like, when it comes to like horror movie monsters, they're probably my all-time favorite.
Oh man, we got to talk. I don't care if you guys are good. We got to talk about zombies because
Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, the remake though.
The remake. I love Dawn of the Dead. The remake.
My favorite is 28 Days Later, but Dawn of the Dead is a really close second. There's something about those early 2000 zombie films because zombies had become stupid and slow and just cliche, right?
Yeah.
And so, but when those two came out, they were just
well, and that's like, and when of course when you're watching Dawn of the Dead, the original, they're slow, like, and like same with Night of the Living Dead. When they're in the cemetery and he's gonna get you, Barbara.
Yeah,
and the guy's like walking really slow. And then you're watching all those. And then when you first watch Dawn of the Dead and you don't see the zombies until the little girl in the house, right? And then because I remember watching it for the first time and I'm like, holy shit, her face is all ripped up, right? And then next thing you know, she's like 0 to 6 and you're like, holy shit, how is she going so fast? Right? Because any zombie up to that point never moved like that.
Yep.
And then and then her husband, and you're like, oh, this is crazy.
And how quick they change.
Right. And then like just how and they're running and it's like, it was
28 days. Yeah, I mean Dawn of the Dead is awesome. I mean, between that opening, the opening sky high shot or afterwards, when she gets in the car and she's driving along and the tanker truck explodes, that is awesome. And then the fucking soundtrack to that is pure fire. I mean, it is.
Well, and then it opened it up for like World War Z.
Oh, sure.
And then you open it up for like the 28 Days Later where those zombies were fast. And I love that scene in 28 Days Later when he's in the church
Oh,
And
Fada.
that creeped me right out. And he's in there, and all of a sudden they all start turning their heads and staring at him, and then they're just like, oh my, what is going on?
There was something
Like,
I watched that movie. Actually, it was just before we got together, I believe, and I watched it in my bedroom at mom and dad's on like a Sunday afternoon. Sun was out, blinds were down, and that movie still scared the shit out of me.
Cillian Murphy was awesome in that.
He's such a good
Killian,
actor.
sorry,
Whatever.
Killian,
Yeah,
he was awesome in that movie.
But there was something about that film. Was I think the first movie filmed all on digital, and it was like the DV, the little handheld digital cameras, and it gave it this real grainy, like you'll never get a high definition version of the movie because it was filmed on
It'll
that.
ruin it.
But it doesn't exist because it was filmed on that, and that's what give it that aesthetic. Like it was like it almost felt like you were watching it either in the past or through like a security camera or something, and I loved it.
And I have a really soft spot for The Walking Dead.
Oh,
I love The Walking Dead.
Let's go with the first 5 seasons of The Walking Dead.
I all the way up until they got Rick off there, and then they killed. Well, I kind of was losing interest when they killed Carl.
The last 73 seasons got a little old. So.
Yeah, once they killed Carl off, I was kind of like, ugh, I know where. And then all of a sudden, then Rick was gone. I'm like, all right. And I know season 10, 11, and 12 are on Netflix. I haven't even watched them, and I'm disappointed that I haven't. But The Walking Dead, the first one, like the very first Walking Dead, that was so incredible.
Man, we got to go back through the comments here.
Yeah.
We got so much stuff. But B-Man J said Hollywood, not really. Well, you know what? You're a paid actor, my brother, and I like it. But Haas says, what about Salem's Lot? Great book. I like the movie, but
I don't think I've seen the movie. Have I?
There's always the memes where if they're cold, invite them in, and it's he's on the second floor looking through the window,
I've never seen Salem.
Really good Stephen King film though. B-Man says he is filming a psycho horror this weekend, which I think is pretty cool. Don't know if you're allowed to say the name or not. If you are, I'd love to hear about it. But Digger says found the ending of Hereditary to be awful.
When she's up on the ceiling and she's cutting her own head off, and you can hear it going.
That movie is so fucking.
And you look up and you're like, is she really cutting her own head off?
The movie's bananas.
Like, that movie. Speaking of scenes that stick with you, all the scenes in that movie that could scare you, the one that fucking scared me the worst was the one when she goes to see the old lady and they have the seance, just her. It's just the two women in the room. That creeped the shit out of me. It gave me chills. Well, I still get chills thinking about it. I don't know why that part was so scary.
The part that did it for me is when she was cutting off her own head.
Well, that was just pure gore. And
I know, but to be able to cut and then, but the thing is, it shows her cutting it like this, and then it takes it away, and then all of a sudden you hear this boom, boom, and then you're like, that was her head.
Yes, it was.
Right? It's like, that is crazy.
Digger says both 28 movies were great. I'm going to say I love 28 Days Later, but the opening to 28 Weeks Later was really good. But then the rest kind of went a little bit. Yeah. So
you're typical.
Yeah.
Right?
And B-Man J says he loves your guys' shirts. Which,
yes, thank you.
And lots of love for Zombieland. The rules in Zombieland are so good. I know. I fucking love Woody Harrelson. I would love to interview that dude
I love
someday.
Woody Harrelson. I do. But the first Zombieland I could take, but the second one was not good at all.
Yeah.
They waited too long, and the actors were I didn't find it good.
Yeah.
But like, nothing against Woody Harrelson, because I love Woody Harrelson and everything he does. But he's better than that.
Do you know Amazon tried to make a Zombieland TV show? They made a single pilot. Back when they first launched Amazon Prime TV, they put out a few pilots, and that was one of them they did. It was okay, but it didn't. But
it didn't have Woody in it.
No, it was all different people. And Gracie says, "Girl," in case anybody likes Walking Dead. So, excuse me.
That just reminds me of Llamas and Hats.
What is it?
It's a YouTube short. It's called Llamas and Hats, or Llamas with Hats. It's just like this dumb little cartoon that is supposed to be funny. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I always enjoy things like that. But B-Man says, think Exodus 3 mixed with The Right.
Ooh.
Very
I like
cool.
that a lot.
Yeah. And cool. I like that. Okay. So did we go through? Yeah. Did we cover zombies? There's so many zombie films.
Oh,
I
there
love,
is.
but,
There's so many zombie movies. The original Night of the Living Dead, though.
I do love the black and white Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
I absolutely love.
Yeah.
You ever seen that, Rob?
I have not, but I've seen
It's
the
funny.
original White Zombie movie.
We won't ruin
Have you
the
really?
original one, but you have to watch it.
A long time ago, I worked at a retail store, and they had like a 30-pack of like black and white horror movies,
Okay.
like the early like 30s and stuff. Some of them were even silent. Like the original Phantom of the Opera was in that collection. But yeah, the original White Zombie movie was on there.
Which is the first zombie film. It's also, of course, who Rob Zombie got the name of his band from. And it has to do with, if I haven't seen it, but it's to do with the Haitian religion, isn't it? Yeah. Which one is that? You know, I can't think of it right now. But anyway, they
All
bring
the
people back,
paints and stuff,
bring things back to life, and it was.
Yeah, it's very voodoo vibes.
That's it, voodoo. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you. Yeah. So was it okay, or was it?
I mean, it is what it is. It's a 70-year-old movie. So we have a rule. Tracy has a rule about movies.
They can't be older than I am.
So we're cut off at the 90s.
Are you serious?
No, well, I mean, I tend to find them boring sometimes. But I mean, there are a few that I really, really will like. But in general, I'm like, this is fine, I guess.
I get it. I do. But there are some. I have a soft spot for some silent films. I do. I like Charlie Chaplin, but Buster Keaton was my favorite. And the girls have watched Buster Keaton films with me, and they love them. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, the original Night of the Living Dead, we won't ruin it because you'll watch the ending and it'll piss you off.
The ending is so
it'll just make you
good.
so mad.
I love that. That is one of the ones.
Every time I watch it, I'm like, that would so freaking happen to me. I don't even care. You work your ass off all night. Right?
It's a perfect ending
it is.
because it totally fits with the time they lived in too.
Mhm.
You're like, if you know what I mean. So
well, and then like Dawn of the Dead's the same. That it kind of reminds me a little bit of that, like when the sheriff is like, we got a Twitcher. They start shooting it.
How about black and white films? How about Psycho? You guys ever seen the original Psycho?
Have, yes.
What do you think? Do you like it? Because I love it.
Yeah, that is one that an older movie that I do actually like a lot.
Are you guys much of a oh my God, Alfred Hitchcock fan at all, or no? Like he did Psycho, he did North by Northwest. The Birds is really good. You ever seen Yeah. He did one we watched, remember a couple years ago, where the college kids, they kill their friend and they leave him they have like a chest in the living room, and then they put a tablecloth over it and they throw a dinner party for all their friends.
That was so boring.
Oh, I love that movie. I find his stuff really boring. Digger says the older movies have to be given credit for what they pulled off without CGI. And absolutely.
Yeah, I don't mind Hitchcock, but I find he fell into a lot of his own hype.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to be full of yourself to create like he did.
Yeah, but I didn't find a lot of his movies were very good.
Oh, you're wrong on that, Mrs. Cook. I love you, but you're 110% wrong.
A lot of them are really, really long. They're really talky. They're boring.
They come out of the era that he was in. But I mean, all right, I don't know. I got to bring this up for a minute here. So let's bring up share screen, and we're going to bring up the window. We're going to bring up
I liked The Birds and I liked Psycho, but that's pretty much about it.
So we got The Birds, which was a classic. We have Psycho, which was a classic. North by Northwest, which some people say is his best. I don't particularly care for it.
I didn't like it.
It's quite boring. But Vertigo, we watched Vertigo recently, and I enjoyed it. That was on AFI's best movie of all time list for years. Suspicion was one that my college professor would make us watch, and I really enjoyed it. Really good. It's black and white, of course. Let's see. Rear Window. I mean, how can you not look how many good movies he had, where the dude sits in the, he's got the broken leg and he's looking at
I know. I just think that, I don't know. It's just not something.
I understand. Yeah. I was trying to find, I've never seen Lifeboat. I've always heard good things. I was trying to find the name of the one where they kill their friends, but I don't see it there. So we'll move on from that. But what else we got? Possession films. Incarnate, Emily Rose, Deborah King.
Deliver Us from Evil.
I missed Deliver Us from Evil, Insidious, Conjuring, Annabelle, The Nun.
There's so many.
Eli? What's Eli?
Eli was one of the newer ones. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's that creepy kid factor.
Plus.
He's not really possessed. Again, I don't want to spoil it because it is like kind of a Shyamalan type twist at the end, but it was really good. We were really surprised at how good it was.
It was one of the ones that he had to force me to watch because I'm like, oh, you picked it, but it was good.
So Hardway Homestead, Alaska is asking about the Fourth Kind, and we did watch that quite a few
Yeah,
years
it's got
back.
Mila Jovovich.
I enjoyed that actually.
It's an alien,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, have you guys seen that one?
Yes, I do really like that movie.
Oh,
That one actually freaked me
and
out.
I know Mila Jovovich. Yeah, it was good. What was the one where she kept trying to get her kid back from the aliens, and then in the end, remember the rocks come up off the ground?
Yeah, it's got
The Fallen, or no? What'd you say?
The Forgotten.
The Forgotten.
The Forgotten. Yeah, that's
a
the
good
one
too.
with what's her face in it? I can't remember.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. From $1 Million Baby. Is that it?
No.
Ah, well. Anyway,
Deliver Us from Evil. Is that the one with
does it have Kane in it?
No.
No. What am I thinking of? Which one?
He was in the other Boleyn Girl. He plays Henry VIII.
Oh, yeah.
What is his name?
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah,
You
he also played the Incredible Hulk, right?
Yes.
Yeah. People are gonna be like, man, you guys are off tonight.
I know, but
it's all right.
Deliver Us, like when they're in the house, Eric Bana. Yeah, and the owls rolling. That's a great one.
So which one's your favorite out of that, guys? The possession films.
And these probably Deliver Us from Evil, but I really, really loved the Possession of Emily Rose when it came, or the Exorcism of Emily Rose when it came out.
You like that one, didn't you?
Yeah. She's such a good actress. I do not remember her name, but she's such a good actress, and like the way that she moves in that movie just freaks me out. And her overt panic is so believable to me that I'm like, I'm gonna have a panic attack. Oh my god.
Laura Linney is her name, right?
Yes.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, she play Dexter's sister?
Oh no, okay.
No, that's not Lauren.
Jennifer Carpenter. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's
Emily Rose.
She does play Dexter's sister, yes.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she was good in Dexter, I thought. But
I think The Conjuring is probably my favorite.
Yeah, you know what?
Because it was original.
I still get them mixed up. The Conjuring, Insidious, they just kind of all blend together for me. I know.
Well, The Conjuring is it's because Patrick Wilson's in both,
right?
And that's why you get them mixed up. But The Conjuring is based on Ed and Lorraine Warren, and that's where the Annabelle and The Conjuring 2 and stuff.
That same universe too.
Yeah.
Which ones?
The Nun and Annabelle are part of the same Conjuring kind of storyline.
I didn't like The Nun. The first Nun was like, I heard the second one was supposed to be a little bit better.
I found it kind of boring.
Yeah,
but
it's okay.
But The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2, like I just watched The Conjuring 2 a couple nights ago. I love them. And like,
what was the one we just watched with Patrick Wilson in it as well?
That was the new Insidious.
Okay, that was Insidious 3, was it? Or I don't know. Anyway,
I think it was
good.
The third one.
I enjoyed it. It's hard to keep them all.
Or the Skeleton Key?
No, Red Door is the last one. Skeleton Key.
Yeah, that's right. There's so many of them. Oh my god. How about Witchcraft? You guys got some good ones. You got some 90s classics in here, which I can bet Tracy watched some of these in high school. Yeah, back in the day. So we got
that was pretty much all me.
Malevolent, Lords of Salem, The Craft, which I haven't seen in years.
Yeah.
Practical Magic, which seems to get forgotten. You never hear people talk about that one. Brightburn.
I love Brightburn.
Yeah, Brightburn's good. Hellraiser. Yeah. I've never really seen many of the Hellraisers.
I'm not a huge Hellraiser fan.
I know.
Yeah. I will watch them, but I find it's Hellraiser kind of reminds me a little bit of like the 13 Ghosts, right?
too.
I love 13 Ghosts, but I find Hellraiser, it's kind of like you watch the first one and you're like, oh, it's really good, but then they kind of they're repetitive.
Oh no, that's true. The first one is probably my favorite. The first and the second one, I love those movies. But then the farther you go, like once it gets to space, I can't like
how many of them are there? Like 12?
Too many.
Yeah. And Drag Me to Hell is actually really good. And I think that's a hidden gem.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no, I do like that one.
How about just thought of it when we were talking about The People Under the Stairs? Have you guys ever seen The People Under the Stairs?
Oh, that's another one from like when I was a kid, and my mom was like, "You have to read this book."
It's based on a book.
Wait, was it a book? Hold on.
Because it's a Wes Craven film. It doesn't surprise me that it was though. But I love that movie. It wasn't really well received by a lot of people, but 1991, the guys, they break into the house and they get locked in there. It definitely shows its age, but I like it.
The first question on Google is it a true story?
Yes. People Under the Stairs is based on 100% true story. Yes, wow.
No, I do love Brightburn though.
Yeah. That's got so that's kind of like what if Superman was evil, right?
Yeah, that's a great movie though.
And
like that kid's a little creep.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised they never decided to do another one with it.
They might still, but like he was a little,
because Netflix is really good at going back and revisiting stuff that And Rachel says, haven't seen People Under the Stairs since it came out. It was one of the first horrors that I really watched as a teenager, I think, and that's why it really stuck with me. Maybe I was like 12 or something. I remember watching it and it was like, oh man, I didn't know movies could be this good. But it's cheesy as all hell.
And Drag Me to Hell is awesome. At the end there, when he goes, "Oh, I found your button," and she's like, "What?"
And you're like,
no, she just beat it all. It's like, I felt very bad for her.
That's probably one of my favorite endings is where the person thinks they've gotten through it and it's scot-free and it's great, and all of a sudden, whoops.
Well, and I remember watching it too, and I'm like, and you're like, oh, this is a great movie. And then she goes and she kills the kitten. I'm like, what the hell did that kitten do to you? Leave the cat alone. Like, why do they always have to do that? Like, you don't need to kill no animals in there.
I love how you could watch 100 people get murdered. And she's like, they punched that horse in the face. They deserve to die.
Well, because they didn't do anything wrong.
I know, that's true. You guys got Spookumentary. I like that. So is that a category all its own, or is found footage under the Spookumentary category?
It's kind of explaining the word that I made up.
I like it. Sure. And you know what? And there's some good ones in here. Let's bring it up. Rachel's the same buddy, and I really am too. Yeah. I just like to bust.
Well, because they didn't do anything wrong.
No, and it's
not their fault that you crossed some gypsy lady. Now this poor kitten's got to suffer because of it.
Speaking of gypsies, what about Thinner? Do you guys ever watch the old movie Thinner?
Yeah,
I like that. It's cheesy as hell, but yeah, it's a good one, and it's very very loyal to the source material too. But
did you guys ever see the second Blair Witch?
Yes.
Book of Shadows?
Or no,
or the remake, the third
one.
Yeah,
the third one where they're
it's the third one. Is
what
it
was that called? Blair Witch 2? They had Sorry, go ahead.
Is it still like kind of the same film type as the original, or is it different?
It was actually called The Blair Witch, or just Blair Witch, whatever the opposite was. Yeah, it was way better than the second one. The Book of Shadows was. Yeah, I was going to use the R word there. I better not use that word.
No, the original Blair Witch. I remember when that came out in theaters, and how everyone was convinced that it was real.
Oh yeah,
and you're just like, it's not real, and like everyone had their parents convinced that it was 100% real. And it's like, and they did a really good job trying to make it look real, which was incredible.
What I love about horror is how you can still make a scary as hell movie on $10,000, or, you don't need, $400 million to make the next Marvel flop. I mean, look at, Talk to Me was done for, I think it was $2 million, which today is peanuts, but we've got, where is it here? Blair Witch was the most successful low budget film at the time, indie film.
Yep.
And then Paranormal Activity was made by, I think, was that James Wan that made the original?
I think
but they made it for like $500,000 or something. And it's great. I love Paranormal Activity.
Only the first one.
Yeah.
I found as they kept going, it's like, okay, these are getting dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of developed a little bit of a story later on too, so we kind of enjoyed the progression of it. Like in the one-off, it kind of seems weird, but then as it went through, it was like, okay, well, this family has just been it's been haunted for a reason, because it's just like this cult that they're in and a part of.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It
The
does.
very last one really sucked because they diverged from that original storyline. It's some weird Amish thing, and it was awful.
Oh, I like that one.
You like it?
I love it. We can all agree to disagree.
So how many of them are there now? 5? 5? Oh, well, maybe we'll have to go back. I've never watched any of them past the first one.
Oh man, Rachel says which was Season of the Witch. It's the Halloween movie that we don't talk about. It's the
Season
Halloween
of the Witch. It's just like Freddy 2.
Right.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah. Season of the Witch was what, Halloween 3?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's the Halloween that Michael Myers is not in at all.
Yeah, because they do that whole trance over the TV trying to brainwash people or something.
What they were trying to do was they were trying to make this spin-off of Halloween where they could almost do like a Halloween tale where it would be inspired by Halloween, but it wouldn't have the character in it. But it
it's just like
so bad.
The second Freddy.
Oh, sure.
Like he possesses that. Like, what do you like? That doesn't even exist in my movie catalogs at all. Those two.
Hell House. We haven't seen Hell House, have we?
I think I have.
Isn't that the one that has
on the cover? It's like a skeleton hand pushing a doorbell.
So it's the haunted house that goes real bad. Right?
Is that the one that has a whole bunch of like famous actors in it, or famous horror actors in it, or am I like doesn't have Freddy Krueger? No. Okay, no, it's not. That's a different one. No, I haven't seen Hell House. Then maybe we'll have to.
I haven't seen. See if there's an original Hell House.
Hell House. Okay.
Because I might be thinking of like, was this a remake?
Oh, there was a Hell House from 2001.
No, it'd be older than that.
The Legend of Hell House, is that with Roddy McDowall from 1973? Could that be it?
No, keep going.
There's also a Hell House from 2009. There's a lot of Hell Houses.
No,
I think the one that we were thinking of is they buy this old hotel and they're going to make it into a haunted house. And then you're getting the filming, because they're filming the whole ordeal. So you're getting the filming to the lead up all the way up until the opening day when shit just goes absolutely bonkers.
Well, we'll have to,
yeah, no, I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, we'll have to watch. Yeah, it would be Hell House LLC, they call it. That's the one. Yeah. All right. That's always good.
Yeah, we'll add that to the list.
Now, psychological horror, and then you got survival horror under that. We got a bunch. We got survival, body. So let's go into survival horror here. What do we got? Okay, hang on. We got Black Rock. I have not seen Black Rock. I don't even know what Black Rock. This is the first one on here. I don't even think I know what it is. What's Black Rock, guys?
We had a disagreement about what survival horror means.
Okay.
So Black Rock is one of my favorite movies. It's these, I think it's three women who go to like this island to like reconnect, but then they meet these two guys, and those two guys start hunting them. So that to me is survival, because you're trying to survive these things that are coming at you. That is survival horror. What did you think it was?
To me, survival horror is like you're trying to survive nature. Like,
okay. So he's thinking like
Everest and Vertical Limit. Like you're out in the wilderness. And you're
the Gray.
Yeah, The Gray. Like Mother Nature is trying to kill you.
We already.
You know what's a good one with that? One with Kate Winslet in it, and the one where they crash the plane in the snow and they have to walk back.
With Idris
Elba and Kate Winslet. You guys ever seen that one?
No.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was.
Well, survival horror too. Would that be kind of like House at the End of the Street? That would be kind of like
that was one that I mentioned.
Well, like, and I Spit on Your Grave.
Yep.
That would kind of be.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's the other one? I Spit on Your Grave, and then there's another one too.
Yeah, they
were all remade from the 70s.
Yeah.
I suppose those would kind of be.
Yeah.
I did put Hostel in this category, like survive, because you have to like. There's these people you're literally being hunted.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the first Hostel. Do you remember?
I like the second one too.
Yeah.
The second one.
Last House on the Left.
Yeah,
that was one.
Spit on Your Grave.
Hills Have Eyes. They were all 70s films that were remade in the early 2000s.
Wrong Turn. That one's
Yeah, Ron.
That one's gross. Like,
Vacancy. Remember that one? With
that's the
Luke
one with
Wilson?
yeah.
That wasn't too bad.
But Hostel, the first, I like the second Hostel.
Now you've got Jordan Peele movie on there. Was that? It says Jordan Peele / Was that a certain one, or do you remember? That's okay.
So he just put out like 3 movies, and we watched 2 of them. So there was.
We watched. I made him watch Us, and I made him watch Get Out.
Get Out is incredible.
Yeah, love Get Out.
Yeah,
Us is just. I'm going to say take it or leave it. Did you guys like Us or not?
I like that one a lot.
I like Get Out a little more, but Us was still good.
And we haven't seen the third one yet.
We've tried. Like I found Us was good until she started talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and that kind of ruined it for me. But Get Out was so good.
Yeah.
Like, and that was another original too. Like it was like, and you never knew. And it took a while to figure out what was going on.
Oh, and that's
what I liked, because I don't like it when you're watching a movie and you can figure out what's going to happen within the first 20 minutes, you know? And
do serial killer movies count as horror? Hell yeah, they do. How about Henry? You guys ever seen Henry from the 80s? I think it's Henry. It's
yes.
Oh, no?
Maybe.
It's got Michael Rooker in it. It's really fucking
Henry, the story of a serial killer.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
And then there was another serial killer one where he kept them in a fridge. It's more recent, and I really like. It was
Dahmer.
No. It was madness, and but we forget about it. Oh shoot!
Have you seen Dahmer with the newer one?
I finished it.
Oh, he great. He's such a great actor.
Oh yeah, no, he really is.
Evan Peters.
Yeah. I was trying to see what. There was a fairly recent one that was similar to Henry that was really good as well. But there's so many good ones that are out there. I don't know if it's going to show up. Funny Games. I remember Funny Games, Last House on the Left.
Funny Games was actually a really creepy movie.
Oh yeah,
like that's the one that has Naomi Campbell in it.
That's right. Yeah,
and
that's the one I get mixed up with Strangers all the time.
Yeah, have you guys seen Funny Games?
Mm-hmm.
No, so it's like these 2 teenagers, and they just go to a random person's house, and they knock on the door, and they're like, they want to borrow like eggs or sugar or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they go in, and then they just wreak havoc on the family. And then at the end, you're like, it's so depressing. Like, and it really is such a creepy movie, and it's so depressing, and you're watching it and you're like, wow, like this. You kind of like, you're just sitting there and you're like, I don't even know what to say. and then at the end, it's like you don't think it's going to happen, and you just like, I don't want to ruin it for you, but yeah, it's creepy and it's depressing at the same time.
But it was, it wasn't too bad. I was trying to find the serial killer movie, but I won't be able to remember it. It was
that one with Zac Efron there,
where he played Ted Bundy.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, did you guys see that one?
No,
it was. I think it was a Netflix.
It's film. A Netflix film. It's about
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy. Yeah, I was going to say Dahmer. Yeah, it's about Ted Bundy. He's pretty good in that one.
Oh, Summer of '84. You guys seen Summer of '84? It's kind of like a slightly more. Oh yeah. Oh, those are really good. Hang on, we'll go to those with me.
Yeah.
Summer of '84 was really. It's like an R-rated version of Stranger Things. It's really good. If you haven't seen it, it's got kind of Black Phone vibes as well. And what else we got here? I'm just going to work my way through to see what else Scream 4.
Yeah, list over there.
I know. I'm just trying to. I won't find it anyway. So Hardway, Homestead, Alaska says Mr. Brooks and Natural Born Killers. I love Mr. Brooks. Remember? Yeah. Oh,
that was one of Kevin Costner's comeback movies.
Sure, it was. You guys ever seen Mr. Brooks?
That one I have.
He's a serial killer. College professor, oh yeah, so good. Anyway, Natural Born Killers, I wouldn't have necessarily put it in horror, but it's totally a horror film at its time. Rodney Dangerfield, and it was
it's more of a violent.
Oh yeah, but it was great. What do we got? Body horror. Would you rather Slither, Human Centipede, or Contracted?
Now, I just watched Would You Rather not too long ago.
Did you like it?
I didn't mind it, actually. It was like, because I see these little blurps on TikTok, and I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this movie. So, and I start watching, I'm like, what? Yeah, like it wasn't bad. I didn't mind it.
Never seen it.
And I love Contracted.
Is that?
That's the one where she has sex with the guy who does.
Oh yeah.
He works in the morgue or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maggots and
Oh,
stuff.
see, yeah. It's
Like
good.
the
I don't like
like
maggots. Maggots are a no-go for me.
You remember the one from a couple of years ago? It was like a cannibal movie where she like would chew on her fingers and stuff. Do you guys remember that one? Raw. And it
I
was
didn't like
supposed
that
to be
one.
so good. And it was just, I kind of felt like Contracted was way better than that.
Oh, Contracted was so good.
Rachel said, never heard of body horror. Well, it's kind of its own genre because you've got The Fly would be body horror, wouldn't it? Where it's Oh, Willard. That's the one with the rats, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
the one from Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. He's in Friday the 13th. Where's Corkscrew? Remember?
Yeah.
Anybody who watches, he's such a weird, and he does the stupid dance, Yeah. Anyway.
No, but like Contracted, just watching like as it goes along and just the gross things, like when she's like when she's sitting on the toilet going to the bathroom. And then when she's working and they find her nail in the salad. It's so gross.
See, nails, right? You said it, and
nails, and then
and
then her teeth. Anything with teeth with me drives me nuts, and her teeth fall out. Oh no! It's so gross.
There was another movie recently where somebody's teeth started falling out too, and I can't remember what it was, but every time it happens, oh fuck yeah! See, I get.
Teeth are teeth and nails and yeah.
So we got some funny horror here, which there's some good ones. There's one in here I've never seen, but Fido. We watched Fido. That's a zombie movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, black and white zombie, but it's too black and white for nostalgia's sake.
Do you like it? It's on your list? So
yeah, it would probably be my favorite zombie movie just because the comedy aspect and the.
For those on the audio only, Tracy is vehemently shaking her head no here. So, but maybe we haven't seen it then. I thought we had, but no, I would have remembered. Black and white. Okay.
I think so.
Zombieland, of course, we've talked about, but it's one of the best.
Only the first one.
Only
the first.
This is the end. Not bad. You like that one? Do you remember? Seth Rogen and all those, and Emma Watson, and
that Seth Rogen, like I can only take him in small doses.
Knocked Up was so funny at the time.
Yeah, but I found This Is the End was okay until the giant Satan comes out and they start making fun of his package and everything, and it's just like.
Did they have to unpack him before he came out? Is that what you're saying?
No, he comes out and it's like
feel like a huge lava cleaner.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, but I thought it was funny where like Emma Watson starts like she was gonna beat the shit out of them.
Oh
and stuff.
yeah. My favorite was Michael Cera gets impaled by the light pole. I love it.
She was like tearing down Jonah Hill or whatever, I think. And apparently there's some true life animosity there where she really doesn't like it. So I thought that makes it even funnier.
That makes it better, yeah.
Rapture Palooza. Is this?
I haven't seen that.
Is this like a Christian rapture thing or not?
No. So it's what's her name? Anna Kendrick and Craig Robertson, like the comedian guy. Yeah. It's supposed to be it's the end of the world and it's like after the rapture, but like it's like comically bad and they get a job working for the devil who owns like this estate and it's so good. And they have to plot to kill the devil.
I've never seen that. Never even heard of it.
Yeah.
Which I'll maybe. I've never worth watching sometime. And you don't love Anna Kendrick, do you?
No.
But that's okay. Here's one I have to.
She's funny in that movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like Craig Robertson, of course. But you've got Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Confession: I've never seen it, so I know you've seen it. Have you?
I have seen it.
Yeah. It's good.
Wood chipper.
That whole movie. How can you go wrong with a wood chipper? I mean,
right?
Yeah, it's just like a great big concrete saw, right? So,
Simon Pegg.
So, honestly, Shaun of the Dead is probably the best horror comedy of all time. Is that your favorite of the of Simon Pegg's films? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
And what's your favorite scene in that movie, guys? What do you like in that sticks out at you?
When they're like, they're like singing the song, like making a zombie.
No, I was gonna say the Winchester.
Oh, let's go to the Winchester, have a pint until this all blows over. Shut up. In that movie, the thing that stuck out to me all these years is that stupid throwaway line where he's like, "You got red on you." That feels so fucking weird. It's such a British thing to say.
And that's how they actually talk.
I know.
It's so funny.
And I love when he's like waking up and he's going to the he goes to the local convenience store and he's like yawning and he doesn't even pay attention to the fact the whole world's falling down around
him. Well, and they're the slow zombies.
Oh yes. And they have to pick through their favorite vinyl. They're like, okay, don't throw this one, throw that one.
Right.
It really is good. It is. Yeah. It's such a perfect film. It's so well written.
And I like at the end too when they make like the zombie Olympics and stuff like that, and they have them as pets.
Oh
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do we got? Dumb factor. Interesting. We have, and these are good ones, guys. We have Cabin Fever. You have 1 and 2, but there's like 5 of them now, isn't there?
Really that many?
I think there. Yeah,
I didn't know that. I wouldn't even.
There's a guy.
I know there's a lot of remakes.
Yeah, so there's a guy, if I remember this correctly, the guy who did a bunch of the sequels, like 2, 3, 4, and 5, he was like really good at making low budget horror. Real young guy. He was only in his early 40s. He just passed away. And he was a guy that we never really heard of, but they used to talk about it. He would make, whenever the studio needed them to make an IP, like an intellectual property horror film. I don't know how I know this. They would get this guy to do it. And the Cabin Fever ones were some of the, So complete
the remake there. Nothing drives me more nuts than that kid screaming pancakes and then doing the kung fu. It's like,
pancakes.
What does that have to do with the movie?
Nothing. It was a funny random line that made everybody laugh.
But then he bit him,
right?
And the kid was infected, and that because but pancakes. Like, why are you doing?
I just thought it was funny. It really, I loved. Yeah, I thought the first one was pretty darn good, to be honest.
The first original, not the not the remake.
No, there wasn't. You know what I hate is when they make the remakes like 10 years after the original. There should be no reason for that at all. But
Jeepers Creepers. That's the first one was original.
Oh yeah. You know what? Yeah. The first couple were okay. But are you guys Jeepers Creepers fans?
He is. I hate that.
One of my original horror movies.
Because in case you didn't know, it's problematic to like Jeepers Creepers because the director apparently was a douchebag or something. But whatever. Everything's problematic nowadays, right? So
yeah, I found the first one wasn't. It was okay. The second one, but like I know I was reading a whole bunch of about horror movies, and there's Easter eggs in the second one.
Really?
Like the 4-star that he throws at the bus, is made out of Derry's belly button from the first one with the rose tattoo.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, like there's like those little Easter eggs. Yeah, it's like it's made out of his skin.
Because he recently made another one, which apparently was just awful. Was it the third one? Like, it came out in the last 3 or 4 years.
I don't
really
think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I have. Oh no, it was the second one that was the school bus, right?
Yes.
School bus one's great. I love it. Oh yeah.
So what I don't think I've seen the third one.
Apparently it's not worth watching. So kid friendly. I like these kid friendly horror as far as it goes.
Because my 8-year-old is really into horror movies.
Cool.
So it kind of presents its own challenges because most horror movies, like, we're okay with a little bit of violence and stuff, but the sexual content and the language is like, we really want to toe the line on that. So all of these are kind of based on our preferences. Other people's preferences may differ.
And he can handle a lot. Like, he's not scared by
don't have to make any apologies for it. I mean, what was Charlotte and Alice? I mean, I've
original Child's Play, I watched that when I was like 7. And I know he drops a couple F-bombs and stuff in it, but
I mean, it's just a movie about a doll. So,
but it didn't like. Well, yeah, I had porcelain dolls, so like after I watched it, I was like, oh, I think we're gonna put these dolls away, right? And then Puppet Master came out, right? I was like, oh boy, yeah.
Gunfighter Concealment. That's actually funny. Eight-Legged Freaks was a horror movie my 8-year-old liked. That's one I never thought. You guys ever seen that? I think it's
yeah, a long time ago.
It's got anyway, yeah. Buddy from Scream. Who's the cop from Scream? David
Arquette.
I'm sure he's in this. And it was horror. It was made to be a bit like the 60s and 50s monster films and stuff, but it came out in the late 90s. I remember watching on VHS, and yeah, it was okay. But that's a good suggestion. Oh,
I was just gonna say
Arachnophobia.
I was gonna say Arachnophobia. Yeah.
They're making a new one.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're remaking it, and it has the potential to be very good.
Does it have John Goodman in it?
I love John Goodman.
Oh, he's perfect in that role.
It's going to be hard without him in it.
I don't know if I've ever seen a John Goodman film I didn't like.
I love John Goodman. He is so funny.
Oh, he's perfect. Yeah, are you guys a John Goodman fan at all? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, see, A Quiet Place for the kid friendly. We tried watching that with the twins when it first came out.
Right.
And no, they were good until they killed the raccoon, and then they both noped out. They're like, I can't watch this, Mom.
Don't worry about the little boy, but the raccoon.
No, but it scared the shit out of them, right? Because it come out of no, and Charlotte's like, nope, and she was gone. She's just like,
you know what? This is really funny. Gunfighter said the Ernest Halloween movie.
I hate Ernest. I hate.
Him. Were you an Ernest fan, Rob, at all, or no?
Oh, my mom and dad were so
shocking.
So
I'd seen them all.
The very, very first movie I ever saw on VHS was Ernest Goes to Camp. My parents rented a VCR. It was that many years ago. I was in kindergarten. They rented a VCR and some movies, and I was like, oh, I don't know what it is, and we fell in love.
Poor thing.
We would watch, I don't know how this ever happened. We would watch Ernest Goes to Jail every year on New Year's Eve for years.
I hate those movies.
You know what?
Oh my goodness.
But Jim Varney, or whatever, the guy that played him, he's just an incredible dude. He has such a cool story. He died young. And anyway, it was.
Yeah, but those movies, oh my goodness.
And then you guys have The Lazarus Effect. Do you remember?
I didn't know where to put that one.
What is that one? I'm trying to think of.
Now go ahead.
You're good.
That one is, what's their freaking name? I know specifically Donald Glover's in it, not the younger one, not the older one. But it's so they're in like a lab, and they're trying to resurrect a dog. So they're working on like resurrecting dead things, and then so that works, and then bad things happen. They end up having to try to resurrect a person, and then more bad things happen. It's one of my absolute favorite like hole in the wall, cult classic. I love this movie so much.
I think we have seen that.
I think I've seen that one. Yeah,
it's so hard when you've seen so many. What about? It reminded me of the one where they work in the morgue. Remember where she comes kind of back to life? It's fairly recent. It was the story of, oh man, I enjoyed it. It was a father and a son who worked in the morgue together.
Which one you're talking about.
And her body came in, and to me it just really creeped me out. And I don't know if I'll remember it right now or not.
Jane Doe autopsy.
Yeah, the autopsy of Jane Doe. There, thank you. Yeah. Gunfighter says this one's going to make you laugh. The scariest movie I ever saw was when I was 16, and it was The Green Mile. The movie messed me up, and I still haven't watched it again to this day. I'm tired, boss. It is you know what? That's the very first Stephen King book I ever read, and that book came out in serial. So in serials, sorry. So it would he put them out in 6 mini books, and you would get like 2 or 3 chapters a week. And then you'd wait for, a month, I guess. And then the next little mini book would come out, and there was 6 of them, and then it made a whole series of the book. And I loved it. And that's when I fell in love with Stephen King stuff. But Green Mile is good. Gunfighter, I need to ask what exactly scared you. because I'm trying to think of what is scary in that would really get you. The bees? Would it be the bees or the flies?
Well, that and it's based on murder, and
I suppose, yeah.
and when of course when they electrocute the guy without the water on the sponge, like that was pretty graphic.
That is true. It's such a perfect story, though. Even, I mean, again, Tom Hanks, that dude, he can, I'd watch him read a phone book. Like, he's so good, but he's perfect in that. When I don't know what it is, but you just feel for him when he's standing there by the toilet and he's just trying to go, and he's got them gallstones or whatever, kidney stones, and you're just like, he's just good. Yeah, I love it.
No, it's because like the others.
The others. Oh yeah, we missed a couple.
I have a soft spot for the others.
Yeah, I do too.
Like, and I liked how it had that really good twist.
Yes. Yeah.
In the end, and it was
one of the first movies I ever watched on DVD, actually.
Yeah, and I found it was a little bit of a slow burn, but because like Nicole Kidman, you love her or hate her, but she is kind of dry in some of her movies. But I was like, when you find out the twist, it's like it was creepy, but it wasn't like scary, like it was kind of like, oh man, this is really sad, like because it was sad too, right? And
there was a lot of those really late 90s, early 2000s highbrow horror films. There was that one. There was What Lies Beneath. You remember that one?
Yeah, with Michelle Pfeiffer.
There was a bunch that were, at one time, you might have called them thrillers or psychological horrors. But the others, we need to go back and watch that again. I like that one a lot.
You can't find it on streaming.
Really?
Now.
I used to have it on DVD.
You had a really hard time getting a hold of it.
Huh. I did too. It was I got it from Columbia House, I think.
Now, which one I watched the other day, which I don't know if you guys have watched yet, is The Fear Streets on Netflix.
Oh, I have not yet.
I thought, okay, I was talking to Charlotte about it, and I'm
teeny stuff, right?
But they're really not.
Though. No.
Like, so you have to watch it in. I think the first one is 1994, and then the second one is 1979, and then the third one is 1666. So you have to watch it in that, and they're actually really good, and they're way gorier than I thought they were. Well, so they're really well acted. I thought they were. I didn't watch the first one, but I watched the last two, and I like them.
Because didn't they have something to do with the same guy that did Haunting a Hill House and that sort of thing?
I don't know. Those Haunting a Hill House movies are incredible.
Have you guys seen you know what? We haven't even talked about horror TV, but that's fine. Yeah. But have you seen Haunting of?
I have a few in mind. Hill House.
That was my favorite one.
You know what? Maybe we should save that we can save TV for another night whenever we get. But yeah. And you know what I liked just as much was the Midnight Mass. You guys seen Midnight Mass?
That was a really good one.
I think I enjoyed. I mean, coming from a religious background in the past, that one really hit me. I was like, "Ooh, I loved it. It was so well written." And I'm just trying to find.
Yeah, if you get some free time, watch the Fear Streets.
Yeah.
No, they're really good. Like, and they're based on R.L. Stine's books.
Yeah, I used to have a look.
Yeah, and they're really gory. Like, because you're watching it, and I'm looking at them, and I'm thinking, because it's been on Netflix for a while. And I'm like, I ain't watching that shit, right? And then Charlotte's like, no, Mom, you got to watch it. So I gave it and it's like, holy crap, this is really.
Because she does. Yeah. Charlie has pretty good taste.
She doesn't like horror movies as much as Alice does, right? So I was like, okay, well, maybe it's like sugar-coated horror. So I was like, I wasn't sure I wanted to. But no, it was actually, they're pretty good. And the third one has one of the girls from Stranger Things in it.
It's got the redhead?
The redhead in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sid. I can't remember. Anyway, if I hadn't thought of it, I could have said it. But yeah. Well, guys, we have been 2 hours. I knew we were going to go, but I got another. I don't know if I've asked this yet, but let's finish up with this question. So, what is your favorite horror movie of all time? If you were on a desert island, or no, better yet, since we're in the prepper sphere, if you had to spend the next 30 years in a bomb shelter and you could only take one horror film with you, what horror film would that be? You can cheat, or you can say only 3 or whatever, but what would it be? How about you, Mrs. Cook? put you on the spot. Yes, a tough one. And if anybody else in the audience who've stuck with us for 120 minutes at this point wants to chime in, you're more than welcome to share as well. So my daughter Gracie said Conjuring, and I know she loves that one. She's watched that because I think she watched that when she was maybe 14, 15 the first time. So they always say whatever you see when you're 14 sticks with you for the rest of your life. Gunfighter's going to say Jason, Friday the 13th. So I'll give you that. If you want to take a boxed Blu-ray with you with all the Jasons in it.
That's all you can carry.
You're good with that. Yeah, that's right. I like that. Oh my God. What? Oh shit. See, I asked this question, but I'm busy asking. But I couldn't think of it. I mean, 28 Days Later is so good. Jeff Stark, there's our brother from Canada. 80s category would be Poltergeist. Yeah, Poltergeist is good. Maybe Signs, if I had to pick one. And that just goes to show that PG-13 horror can be really good. But man, I love Signs. Signs, Dawn of the Dead, 28 Days Later, any one of those.
Hey, you said only one.
I know, I'm just saying. I'm just talking out loud to fill airtime until you guys come up with an answer. So no, I'm just kidding. But it's tough. I should have prepared you for this a little bit better. I think I have a list.
If I have to take a set, I would try to sneak the whole Conjuring universe, because you just get like all of like the Conjuring and the Annabelle and the Nun.
That's fair. I'll give you that. We'll say that it's been released.
Take the Resident Evil set as well. Especially if I can get the series in there too, because I really like that series that they came out with. But then all time,
phone of my favorite horror of all time. But yeah, so we'll go with the Conjuring series then, or maybe we'll just slide it back a little. We'll go with how about our favorite series of things you can take with you? Because I know what yours would be. Yours would be Freddy.
Mine's the Freddy's.
Yeah,
the Freddy series.
Yeah. So
and that's like 1, not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all the way up probably till Freddy versus Jason.
I heard somebody say the other day that it's the remote drop film, and I like that. It was, what movie is on TV and you're channel surfing through and you like it so much that you're willing to drop the remote on the couch next to you. And I was like, I like that say. That's really good. Yeah. But
it would have to be, I just love possession movies so much. It would either be the Exorcist series. Like I love Exorcist New Beginnings. I love the first one. I'm so excited to go see the new one. But as a standalone movie, when you said you could watch, I've watched The Exorcism of Emily Rose probably 1,000,000 times, and I will probably watch it after Rob goes to sleep tonight. Like I love her so much in that movie. I don't know why, but I love that movie.
I'm going to go with Hitchcock's films because I love his stuff. There's probably 10 or 12 in there. I know we're talking about a series, but that's what I'm going to go with because I just don't think there's anything better. That dude was the master of suspense. And that would just mean that I could sit there in the bomb shelter smugly and smile watching it while you're there rolling your eyes.
You'd be there by yourself. You better have your own bomb shelter.
But I would.
I'm not watching that shit.
But I would watch Freddy with you. But I guess if it had to be the Friday the 13th, you love that too. Because how many lazy Sunday afternoons have we sat down in October over the years and binged? AMC used to show them all the time. We just, wherever we'd find them, we'd binge through the Freddy Krueger, we'd binge through the Jason movies, and it was fun.
And you know what? And I'm a bad binger for The Walking Dead.
Yes. Again, the first 5 seasons.
Yeah, I just started when we get about 2 or 3 inches on the ground, then I start my Walking Dead.
Snow, that is, folks. In case you're wondering what we're talking about.
Then I go to Game of Thrones again. So it's like I watch those are my go-to when I can't find anything.
The first 6 episodes of The Walking Dead, I think that first season was 6 episodes, wasn't it? I think,
or whatever. Remember.
The first season is some of the best TV ever made. I love it. I mean, I put it right up there with pretty much all of I know some people are saying Breaking Bad, but yeah, it's as good as Breaking Bad and some of the other shows. But that first season plays like a movie, you know?
No, but what if you just had to pick one movie, though?
Oh, just one?
Yeah.
Well, but it's got to be horror, I guess?
Yeah.
Did you pick the horror film?
Honestly, I would have to probably go A Quiet Place.
Yeah, man,
I love The Quiet Place.
I got to look at my list here, guys.
If I was to pick one horror movie, I think that would probably be it.
See if I can find movie. I thought I had them on here, but I don't know. Yeah. Oh, so many good movies. I mean, if you ask me regular movies, I'd say Pulp Fiction because I've watched that like 300 times and I love it. or Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh my God.
None of those are horror movies. So
I mean, depending on how you look at it.
We're not going to go into Christmas movies because we know which one is the best Christmas movie ever made.
yeah.
Die Hard.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, 100% is Die Hard.
Exactly.
I was gonna say I don't even know a whole lot of other Christmas movies aside from the ones I watched as a kid. It's those and Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
We can blend the two categories and go with Krampus.
Oh, that
is.
I do like Krampus. That is such a goofy movie too.
I love it. It's so good.
So I found my all-time favorite horror list of all, and I had, man, there's so many good ones. Maybe, I'll know. We never even talk about High Tension. We never come back to talk about High Tension.
Right?
But that is, some people say it's stupid, but man, I don't.
Well, when we first watched, I don't know where we found it. But we rented
bought it. No, we bought it.
We bought it on a whim.
It was like a $7 bin at Walmart or something.
Yeah, and we were living in Marshalltown, Nova Scotia.
Were we even married yet?
No, we weren't married yet.
Just living together.
And we were living in a farmhouse. And that one scene where the truck drives up to the house and the lights and it starts laying on the horn, that scared the shit out of me for weeks, especially when he was working after it would get dark. I was like locking the door because we were out in the middle, we were out in the country, right? And I'm like, this movie scared the shit out of me. And I was like, that was the creepiest part.
Yep.
And then of course her running around with a giant cement cutter. Like
so impractical. Oh my God, it was good.
How do you even carry that, let alone run with it? Right.
That was one of those times where when I was younger, we used to go to Blockbuster and we would look through the horror and we would pick out the ones with the most ridiculous covers or something and be like, all right, this one's got 20 minutes to, and we like it, we'll keep watching the whole movie. That's how I found Evil Bong, by the way.
Evil Bong.
And Deathbed, the bed that eats people. But High Tension was one of those ones where I'm like, this cover looks awesome, let's do this. And then I found one of my new favorite movies. It was great.
Yeah, no, it was great, but it did creep me out.
I'm going to go with Signs. I decided. I'm making a decision. Because it is infinitely rewatchable. I don't know how many times we've watched it. Yeah,
there you go.
That is it's a pretty damn good movie.
I do like Signs, yeah.
And like I said, it's PG-13, which is crazy. That would be a good, I would say that'd be a fairly good kids horror movie, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't done a lot of aliens with them yet, so.
Yeah, because there's I think there's only one swear word in it. And that's when they're running around the house. He goes, I cussed.
I know. I heard.
It's like, what do you say? Ass. Right?
But he uses them in the wrong context.
Yeah.
But yeah. Although I could see that movie would freak kids out because it's pretty tense at times. But yeah, it's a good one.
But it would be kid friendly though.
No, it's true.
I think because the girls have seen it and they loved it. Yeah.
Well, guys, what do you think? You had enough? We did pretty good tonight. Talked ourselves right out of 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 2 seconds at this point. But if you guys want to, we'll have you back before, but I'd love to have you back next Halloween to do another one if you want. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How can people follow up with you, Rob? I know you're on Telegram probably, right?
On Telegram. I'm not much on social media. Tracy's more active than I am. I have made it our goal to kind of get some jewelry making and artisanal stuff going between us this winter. So hopefully there'll be news of a store and stuff opening up soon where we're cranking out some things to sell.
Nice.
Well, let us know because I'd like to be your first customer. So no, I mean it 110%. So, and Tracy, are you still doing welding?
I am. I am just about the last week of November is my last week of school. So, and I take my certification test on Monday. So
that's pretty cool, eh? I love that. I think that's really neat. So yeah, I guess we'll call her a night from here. This was great, guys. I really appreciate you. And we always have, I'm glad we made it happen. It came from a conversation in a slightly warm Washington. Was it summer? Yeah, it wasn't even summer.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was good.
It was nice.
But it was nice that we got to hang out in person and then we get to hang out on here. We'll see you guys again in the future, I'm sure, up close and personal. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
We're kind of, Tracy's company is kind of in with the people who put on the Thrivalist Fair. Now. So we're fairly certain that it's going to happen again next year with some improvements.
Good.
I think probably be extending the invite your way again as well.
There was one extended already, and I'm not committing to any events till January 1st, so I can't say for sure, but I would love to see you guys again for sure. We'd be down for that, wouldn't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, folks. We thank you for sticking with us for 2 hours plus. It was great. We could talk about horror movies all night.
Conversation.
Yeah, it's Halloween. Friggin' right. So anyway, guys, as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week. Everybody stay